the deepest, darkest clues, to the backwoods swamp beneath the body, from the inside of your casket to the fears lodged deep inside your subconscious. It's time for the Big Scary Show.
Hey guys, this is Dave Harlequin from MonsterCon 2013 and Stiff Magazine. Hanging out with my favorite weirdos here on the Big Scary Show.
Hi, this is Deanna Roberts, Makeup Vamp, and you are listening to the Big Scary Show.
The Undertaker from HalloweenHotSauce.com, and you are listening to the Big Scary Show. Stay rotten.
Hi, this is Laura Dark from Laura Dark Photography, and you're listening to the Big Scary Show.
This is Jackie Steiner, and you're listening to the Big Scary Show.
Hi guys, this is Shane from MonsterCon in South Carolina and Stiff Magazine, and you are listening to Big Scary Show.
Oh my goodness, it's the Big Scary Show!
This week, on an all-new Big Scary Show. The weather is cooling down, but the interviews are hot, as the unknown scare actor talks turkey with Ryan Theroff of Screamakers Court to find out what's going on with their haunt that earlier was in danger of not opening this season. We also have a double serving of our special correspondent, as Dog Soldier brings you a hearty helping of interviews with Hollywood stars Lance Hendrickson and Ernie Hudson. The Round Table of Terror talks photography with the very talented Laura Dark, makeup artist Deanna Roberts of MakeupVamp.com, and model Jackie Steiner to find out about the world of alternative, gothic, and dark photography and how it's becoming a big deal in the haunt industry. Badger attempts to serve up another winner in the gruesome giveaway sponsored by Screamline Studios, or does he wind up with leftovers? We speak with Shane and Dave from MonsterCon 2013 to find out the latest tidbits about the convention, and then they wet our whistles with news on Stiff Mag, two of our very fine sponsors. Storm will rant on in a haunt minute. The unknown scare actor makes you face your fears. The haunt rocker Jerry Vane dishes out some tasty tunes. And Badger carves up the news. All this, plus we examine the Irma Gerd meme. Is it truly the scariest thing ever? Ernly, Earn the Berg, Scurry, sure.
Greetings, haunters. The unknown scare actor here for the Big Scary Show, and usually Badger's the one who does most of the interviews, but you know, I want to talk to a young man that I've known for a few years now who runs a charity haunt in Cincinnati, and you know, I can't say enough good things about him. Let's welcome Ryan Theroff. Ryan, how are you tonight?
Good. How about you?
I'm doing great. Ryan, as I just mentioned, you know, I've known you for 2 or 3 years now, and I've seen some of your work, and your haunt, Screamakers Court, just keeps getting bigger and bigger. What do you have in store for the unsuspecting victims this year?
This year is completely revamped. There is only a couple sections that are the same, but we have all new themes, starting with our Green Acres Hospital, and then we move on to our new 3D section, which is called the Experiment, and then you eventually head to our Hillbilly section called Hillbilly Revenge, and then that ends the haunt, and then we have an all-new attraction out front, which is Buried Alive, which is actually a coffin ride from Haunted Enterprises.
So anyway, let's go back and let's do a little bit of history about Ryan and Screamakers Court. How did you get started, and how old were you?
I was, 9 years old, back in the garage, just moved into the neighborhood, and my neighbor, his dad used to do a little haunted house thing, and the year I moved in, they quit, so my neighbor friend was just completely tore up about it, so I was like, you know what, let's do something at my house, and we did it, and it was cheesy, Walmart little pumpkins, paper skeletons, all that stuff, and now it's grown to a semi-professional haunted house.
So you started when you were 9 years old. I mean, does your passion for Halloween go any farther back than that?
I always loved Halloween, probably the best time of the year as a child, and of course when I was a child, we went to haunted houses, we went to as many as we knew about, and, we went to the Dent Schoolhouse before it was called the Dent Schoolhouse, when it was called the Haunted House, and Dungeons of Delhi we went to all the time, all the local haunts.
Okay, when you went to some of these haunts, including the previous incarnation of Dent and the Dungeons of Delhi, was there anything that really stood out to you in these haunts that kind of inspired you?
Usually the rooms that were high detailed, which back when I was 9 years old, the industry wasn't into much detail yet, it seemed like, so, it was more like black walls, strobe lights kind of thing still going on, but, in any area that had high detail, I absolutely loved the realism of it.
Okay, so I know that you've learned from one of the best when it comes to high detail, and I applaud you for your detail as well as learning, because nowadays the detail's got to be there, or people are going to see right through the illusion.
Right.
Well, I've watched your construction photos over the past couple of years, and I know that you've been working closely with Josh, and it's definitely rubbing off on you, because you've got the passion, you've got the detail, and what you've got now, from what I've seen, is going to outstrip everything you've done so far.
That's what I'm hoping for this year.
Is there? I think you created your own form of permablood. Am I right?
Yes, actually, yeah. We got tired of spending money on it, so I decided to go out and make my own.
Okay, and how is that working for you? Is it working all right?
It's working great. It works just as good as permablood from any other company.
Any thoughts of maybe marketing it in the future?
There's been talks about it. We've been talking about getting a booth at Midwest, and then the next year at Transworld. Wow.
All right. If anybody can do it, I know you can. Your mother has got to be your biggest fan, and rightfully so. Shout outs to Kimmy, because I think you've got a lot of your passion for performing from her, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So let's go on and talk a little bit more about Screamakers itself. I know that you are a charity haunt, and which charity do you support the most?
This year we're supporting the Make-A-Wish Foundation, which is the same as last year's. Okay, and I know you guys raised quite a bit last year. I'm sure the Make-A-Wish Foundation was quite pleased with your donation. Oh, yes, very pleased, and they were very happy that we decided to come back this year, and we're hoping this year that's going to be way bigger, since we're open 4 more nights than last year. 4 more nights, wow. And how many volunteer actors have you managed to get up to in this time? On a typical night, it's anywhere from 20 to 30. That's phenomenal for a charity haunt, to have that many actors. And I'm sure I know quite a few of those actors that help you out. Oh, yeah, definitely.
as you, I mean, all of these operating this haunt. I mean, even though it is charity, it's got to run into a lot of expenses. And I know that Kimmy's been out there pounding the pavement trying to draw up sponsors for you. Who are some of your biggest sponsors?
This year, our biggest sponsor, we just recently found out that Jimmy John's contacted us and is going to be coming out every night. They're going to have a sandwich booth set up, so when you come to our event, you actually get a free sandwich. And then they're actually feeding our staff every single night, too, along with advertising us.
Phenomenal. I know they've got quite a few franchises around the area, so that should give you some really good exposure.
Yeah, definitely.
Any other sponsors that are helping support Screamakers this year?
Oh, the list goes on. I know Qdoba is going to come out and do something like Jimmy John's for one night, so we'll have Qdoba night going on. And then trying to think of who else has really stepped up this year. There's a lot of people who have done small things, of course, like, local businesses, but those have to be the biggest this year. And then we're also, this year, promoting with Fox 19, so you'll see our name all over their news station, and we'll have commercials with them and all sorts of stuff.
Wow. Commercials on Fox 19. That's, for a charity haunt, that's close to being unheard of.
Yeah.
Quite the feather in your cap, Ryan. Kudos to you and to Kimmy for the tireless work that you guys have both been doing.
Thanks.
I think that I don't think I've ever seen you work anywhere other than on your haunt from almost 365 days a year.
Yep, pretty much. It's a year-round thing.
And I know it's a giant undertaking, and you've got a lot of drive. And for the listeners of the Big Scary Show out there that don't know Ryan, you got to understand this young man is, are you 17?
Yep, 17.
This young man is 17 years old, and he's got more drive and more passion than a lot of older haunters that I know in this business. So I see nothing but great things for Ryan in the future with Screamakers Court or wherever he lands. I know for now he's sticking with the charity work, but you never know. You might turn around and find out he's got one of the best haunts in the nation. And I think that might be your goal somewhere down the road. At least I hope it is.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Well, I'm not going to keep you too long, Ryan, because I've got to wrap things up here so we can go into production. But this is the section of the interview where I would like to call it the plugs. So this is where you get to plug all your social media, any contact information, dates. Take the reins with this and give people as much information as you want to give them.
All right. Sounds good. All right, guys, so you can visit our website, which is www.cincyscreams.com, and there you can find all information about our haunted house. You can see our full list of sponsors and also our calendar, which will be open every Friday and Saturday of October this year from 7 to 11 p.m., and also, of course, Halloween night, 7 to 10 p.m. And this year we'll be sponsoring the Make-A-Wish Foundation, which, of course, is a great thing. And you can also visit our Facebook page, which has all of our photos from past years and construction photos and promo photos from this year, and that is www.facebook.com/CincyScreams.
All right.
Do it.
Great, Ryan. Thanks for taking some time out of your extremely busy schedule to talk with me. I know you're probably going to go get your hands in a bunch of more blood and paint right now, if I'm not mistaken.
Sounds about right.
But again, thanks so much for taking the time to talk with the Big Scary Show. We appreciate you listening to us. Everybody out there, make sure you check out Screamakers Court. If you're in the tri-state area and you can make it out there, you can't go wrong. You're going to get an awesome attraction. You're going to be helping a great charity, and you're going to be seeing phenomenal work of the young man Ryan here. Ryan, again, thank you so much. I am the unknown scare actor for the Big Scary Show, and we are out.
Calabrese, Ghost Wolves, on the Big Scary Show.
Photoshop faces, highlands of Scotland, goats and trees? Why doesn't anybody have a calendar which speaks to my passion? Wait a minute, what's this? HectorTurner.com, the 2013 Haunted Halloween Calendar? Oh, this is perfect. Oh, this would look great in a workshop. Better yet, at the office.
Reserve your copy of the calendar now at HectorTurner.com.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Big Scary Show. We have a treat for you in store. If you have been listening to the show for the last few weeks, you know that we have been running an ad for a big event coming to Greenville, South Carolina in July of 2013. It is the return of Monster Con. Now, there are other Monster Cons and Zombie Cons and Creature Cons and other cons all around the country. This one is one of them. Might be a little different. We're about to find out. I've got on the phone, I've got Shane Trotter, one of the organizers, founders, and directors of MonsterCon. Shane, are you there?
I am here.
And we have Dave Harlequin, another one of the co-organizers on the line here. Dave, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Excellent. And I just happened to be joined by the unknown scare actor.
Where?
Somewhere.
Oh, me. Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm here. Hi.
And the haunt rocker Jerry Vane.
Yeah.
Somewhere out there. And we're going to talk about MonsterCon, one of our sponsors. Shane, Dave, welcome.
Welcome. Thank you, man.
For the benefit of those who may be new to the show or have not been listening to the commercials, and shame on you if you aren't, tell us a little bit about what MonsterCon is, the 5 W's, and what makes MonsterCon so darn cool.
Oh, I get this one every day. I can answer this one. MonsterCon is a 3-day multi-fandom convention scheduled for July 26th to the 28th of 2013. Pretty much, if it's remotely related to fandom, it's going to be there. Like we've got horror, we've got sci-fi, we've got fantasy, we've got gaming, films, a little bit of anime, maybe. Just pretty much anything you could consider nerd/geek friendly.
We love nerd and geek stuff. Absolutely.
We do too. We devote our whole lives to it.
Now, MonsterCon used to be held up in the Charlotte area. I know the last one was held out in Cabarrus County. And they've kind of went dormant for a while, and you guys have brought it back.
Yeah, we actually approached Ray Franks about it when we were looking at doing a convention, and I told him, we were involved with the last year of it, and it would be cool to bring it back if you're open to bringing it back. So it kind of went from there to, basically I want to do a convention, period. I'd like to use the name if possible, and he agreed to it, and we reset the whole thing as a new company in South Carolina and pulled it out of the outskirts of Charlotte to get it into a little bit bigger market area and moved it to Greenville.
Yeah, man. I mean the last MonsterCon that was done. I mean it was a big con. It was a lot of fun. But the unfortunate part is it was in kind of like the north suburbs of Charlotte, like out in between a couple of cow fields. And sadly, I mean nobody's going up there unless they're going to like a racetrack or something. And it was
a beautiful civic center. I was at that one. Talked to a couple of very nice people. One of the guys who played Michael Myers, Brad Laurie, talked to Ken Kersinger, and lots of cool people. But again, like you said, there was nothing out there other than that convention center. So,
yeah, I mean, hell, like Tris trying for when we were going with at the time Graveyard Girls, which became Stiff Magazine. We were like I got lost trying to find the place, and I'm from Charlotte.
I thought I had passed it, and I finally came to it 30 minutes later. That's how far out it was. And there was not really any hotels or anything nearby. And I think with it being in a convention center as opposed to being in a hotel setting, that really hurt it.
Right. But you guys
People
have brought...
went home, they just went home and stayed home.
Yeah. So you brought MonsterCon to Greenville, South Carolina at the downtown Greenville Hilton. Is that correct?
Yeah, we've got the Hilton on Haywood Road, which is right across the street, basically from Haywood Mall and a ton of shopping areas. It's a pretty busy area of Greenville, and literally right off of 385. You can see the hotel from 385. When you take the exit ramp up, you're right in front of it, waiting to turn.
No,
Yeah, maybe 3 minutes outside of downtown proper.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you're kind of capturing that almost halfway between Charlotte and Atlanta crowd.
It's close to Atlanta, it's close to Charlotte, it's close to Asheville, it's close to Columbia. It's a good central point for anybody to come in. There's 2 major interstates that cross basically right beside where we're going with this. And it's a short trip for pretty much anybody, a good central untapped area that nobody has ever really attempted to do anything like this.
Mm-hmm.
There's been a few small conventions in the area, but nothing really focused on multi-fandom. It's either genre-specific, and it's all about comic books, or it's all about cosplay, or it's all about steampunk, but nothing that touches on everything.
So you're trying to combine all these.
Yeah, we're going to try to put it all together and bring everything together into one big family instead of it being a fractured, scattered thing throughout the year.
Now, how has it been received down in that area?
The response in Greenville right now is it's kind of the hotel's behind it 100%, but the market there is kind of shocked that it's actually coming there. But at the same time, they're happy it's coming there because they're tired of always having to go to Charlotte or Atlanta to go to a convention like this. They want it to be there, but nobody's been willing to put one there.
Very, very cool. And again, it's kind of a very central location, as you mentioned there.
Yeah, close to everywhere. Literally an hour and 15 minutes from the Asheville area.
So for people who go to cons like this, you've got the general run of vendors. I'm assuming you're going to have some celebrity guests. I'm assuming, filmmakers will be there and showing off their wares. Is this kind of that kind? We deal with a lot of haunt-related conventions where the big vendors are, the Midwest Haunters Convention, Trans World, HauntCon, National. Those are more about vendors and things, whereas this is more about the fans. Is that correct?
Absolutely correct.
We're going to take a little bit different approach. We're focusing heavily on the entertainment end of it to give people something to watch and something to do nonstop during the daytime of these things, and then a little bit more edgy entertainment during the nighttime. But it's still going to have all the elements of what you see at these other conventions. We're going to have a film screening area that's open for the full 3 days of the convention, where we'll be doing nothing but showing movies out of those rooms. We're putting up a stage in there with lights and a sound system to run bands and DJs, and some celebrity Q&A sessions for the press that's wanting to come in for this, and try to keep something active at all times through the whole event, instead of it mostly being about just the costuming or just the gaming. We want it to be active all the way through, plus have all the elements of what these other conventions do.
Yep, and we are absolutely accepting film submissions for our film festival right now. You can go to our website and just click on the Film Fest tab, and seriously, guys, we can't have a film festival without films, and we've got a lot so far, but we've got plenty more room for more.
Yeah, we've got 3 days to fill.
What would that website be, by the way?
www.monstercon.org.
So monstercon.org, click on the Film Fest thing. Tell us a little bit more about, say, the live entertainment that you're planning on having.
Well, first and foremost, we've got Captain Stabtugo and Madam Maybell that were just on America's Got Talent last year. They made it to the finals. They're going to be doing sideshow stunts and probably scaring a few people with some of the stuff they do to their bodies. Stabtugo, I believe his record right now on sword swallowing is 9 swords at once, which is something you just do not see. But I've been working with that guy for more than a decade now with other stuff that I've been involved with. We did Psychotic Body Suspension based out of Atlanta for a long time, and now he's gone into the sideshow stuff and he's doing really well with it. He's a regular at the Halloween event at Six Flags in Georgia. So they tie into him every year, and he seems to be a good draw there, so I think he'll be a good fit for this too. We've got a Single Cell out of Charlotte coming in to do some late-night dance party-related stuff. A lot of DJs and some lights going off and give people something to do and stay up late and party. Then we've got Valentine Wolf out of Greenville, which is a classically trained orchestral musician, and his girlfriend. They'll come in and do some really different style music than what most people are used to hearing. It's kind of a rock opera type deal.
Ooh.
Those guys.
Well, Yeah, a little bit of steampunk thrown in with that one too.
Yeah, they're a nice little mix of stuff, and they fit really well on the convention circuit. They've been doing a lot of conventions, so hopefully by the time MonsterCon gets here, with them being a Greenville home area band, they're an automatic fit for this. They're right there in the backyard, but they're doing the convention circuit too, so hopefully it'll help them with their draw to MonsterCon just as much as their home base will, and they're just fun to watch. Then we've got Graveyard Boulevard, which features the original organizer of MonsterCon, and that'll be an automatic fit there, too, to bring those guys back in. We've been doing shows with those guys since the band started, and even before that with the case of Frankenstein Drag Queens. We worked with those guys as far back as literally 1997 before I started any type of internet publications at all.
Wow.
Wednesday 13 and one of the other, and the drummer used to email my old band all the time, or not email, I'm sorry, but send mail to my old band at the time. So kind of
with those guys.
Yes, yeah, they're cool guys.
Yeah, I've known the guys in Graveyard for a while. In fact, not too terribly long ago, I saw them with Ari Lehman and First Jason up at Rock Hill. Was the last time I guess I saw Graveyard play. They sounding good as ever. I know they're recording stuff, and we play their music on our show. So that's really cool. I don't have any contact info for Valentine Wolf. Would love to see if you can send us stuff. We'd like to play some of their stuff on the show as well.
Yeah, definitely. I'll be happy to talk to them and see about getting you guys some stuff.
Oh, that'd be most wonderful. So
I've got a question for Dave and Shane. Okay. I know we're still, 10 months away from the convention.
Months. Yeah, a few months out.
But do you have any celebrities that are signed? And if you do, who?
Yeah, that's an easy one. Yeah, I got this one. Sorry, we're both kind of pre-programmed here, but yeah, no. Well, the celebrity guest of honor, first and foremost, we've got Dave Prowse, who played Darth Vader in the original Star Wars trilogy. We confirmed him back this past July, and more recently we announced we're doing a Walking Dead cast reunion, with a lot of the cast members from The Walking Dead and such.
Okay, I'm a big Darth Vader nut. As a matter of fact, 2 feet to my left, sitting on top of my desk, is my Darth Vader helmet.
Nice.
So I am really
looking. One in my trunk.
and he looks just like Vader with it off too.
And behind me, about 4 feet, is my Darth Vader lightsaber mounted on the wall. So yeah, I'm a Darth Vader geek.
I bet both of those things would look really good with a signature on them. I'm just saying.
Absolutely.
I used to work for Comic-Con from '88 to 2004, and Dave Prowse and a lot of the cast guys we used to come across with all the time as well.
So I'm
I like
really
about having him confirmed to this is we'll have one more Darth Vader than Star Wars Celebration just had. Because he actually was not there, which means a lot of Southeastern Star Wars fans didn't get to go meet him.
Wow. That's a shame. I had the opportunity to meet him at Mad Monster last year, well, earlier in this year, I guess I should say.
Oh, yeah, that was a great
very
convention
nice
right there.
That was fun. And he said he's on the road 45, 50 weeks a year doing the con circuit.
Yeah.
And that's
literally nonstop.
That's stellar for a man who's in his upper 70s to do that.
Not to mention a cancer survivor.
Yeah.
Right.
Been married for 50 years. Maybe that's why he's doing it, to get out of the house.
And he's doing a lot of stuff for fundraisers for cancer research, too.
Absolutely.
Which is one of the reasons I wanted to book him. It gets him in there for a really great cause to be able to raise funds for the cancer research, and it gets him in there for the fans to have a chance to speak with him and get their memorabilia signed.
Well, of course, whenever you guys get more guests confirmed, I know you're in the process of booking now, and I'm sure you're getting inquiries and things. Please let us know so we can throw those out there either in our news or via commercials or via other interviews as the time gets closer.
Yeah, right now we've got so many, man. we've got so many pending right now that it's just it's pretty ridiculous. And I really want to announce them all, but I legally can't yet.
No, I understand. Hate for you to say one and have it not happen. So
yeah.
Or 12 or however many you can get. How many celebrities are you looking at getting if all the planets align the right way?
Realistically, we'll probably cap it at about 5 or 6. We don't want to overload it with celebrity guests, just for the simple fact that we don't want to have them competing with each other for the fans.
Right.
And a lot of these guests, they have a common fan base, especially within the horror film market. Somebody that shows up to meet a Jason Voorhees is going to be just as likely to want to meet a Michael Myers. And they'll basically compete against each other. We actually even set a cap on the Walking Dead cast and cap that at specifically no more than 4 walkers so that they all have a fair chance to actually do something with it. I've noticed those guys at other conventions, there'll be 2 or 3 of them that do great, and then the rest of them are just bored out of their minds because there's 8 or 9 of them present.
Right.
And they get skipped over by the fans. The ones that are closest to the door seem to be the ones that sell the materials. And the ones that are further back get skipped and missed. So
Sure.
We want them to be just as happy as the fans are so that they want to come back and do more with us on other events. MonsterCon is just the start. We've actually got more things up our sleeves as far as live events go.
Okay, so it's not just going to be this. This is kind of the start of something bigger and better down the road.
Yeah, this is just the main event in Greenville, but we're going to be continuing to book club-level events and possibly even some other convention-style events. There's a possibility of doing some single-day expo-style events with, like, record shows and comic book trade shows and things along those lines, just to branch it out and offer more throughout the year. Instead of focusing the attention on one specific weekend, we want to do other events through the whole year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, man. Plus, we're partnered up with a lot of other regional conventions and stuff, like kind of like sister conventions, if you will. Like one of which is Con Nuga, another multi-fandom out in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and RoundCon, a primarily gaming con that's kind of making the shift to multi-fandom out in Columbia, South Carolina.
Okay, I've heard good things about Con Nuga. I've never had the opportunity to go yet, but maybe
it's
one
a
of
great
these
party. If you ever get a chance, definitely check it out.
You can always bring us along to cover the event at some point. We'll chat off the air.
Be happy to.
Stiff Magazine presents the return of MonsterCon, coming to the Greenville Hilton in Greenville, South Carolina, July 26th through 28th, 2013. MonsterCon will feature celebrity guests, including guest of honor David Prowse, comic and toy vendor areas, panels and discussion groups, special offers for local and independent artists, horror and sci-fi themed entertainment, the MonsterCon Film Festival, live music by the Graveyard Boulevard, Valentine Wolf, and others, anime, sideshow performances by Captain Stab Tuggo and Madame Maybell, late night entertainment for adults featuring single-cell entertainment, and much, much more. For more information, details, directions, and tickets, visit monstercon.org. That's monstercon.org. Don't miss the return of MonsterCon. Order tickets now before it's too late.
How has, going a little off topic here, how has Stiff Mag been involved with the con? Because I know you are the owner of Stiff Mag, who is also a sponsor of the show.
Stiff, as of the newest issue that came out yesterday, is now part of the MonsterCon LLC properties. So it's being absorbed into that one business to make it all one functional entity. But it's growing ridiculously. We released a new issue yesterday and started promotions for it about 2 days ahead of that, and we're watching our Facebook friends just click up and up and up. I think we've added about 140 over the last roughly 36 hours of new people, which is phenomenal. But we're about to pass 4,000 people that are following the magazine on Facebook, which just a couple of months ago I was making comments that I'd like to see it hit 4,000 by the end of the year. It looks like it's going to do it before the end of this week.
Now, how did you guys get started with Stiff Mag?
Well, it was originally
originally as Graveyard Girls.
Okay, let him go.
That started originally as Graveyard Girls back about 2002, but it even goes back further than that. I ran an internet-based forum for a nightclub called Ground Zero down in Spartanburg, South Carolina, and that kind of got my feet wet with doing internet-based publishing. And I basically showed up at the shows with a camera, took pictures of the bands when they were on stage, and a lot of touring acts and a lot of local acts. And I kind of branched out from that into doing video of the bands and posting it online. And this was a good 5 or 6 years before YouTube even came up. There was no such thing as an online site to be able to post video to. So I was doing it for the bands, and I just, out of basically morbid curiosity, started taking pictures of girls in cemeteries and publishing that alongside the bands. And it was mostly the band members' girlfriends coming out wanting photos done.
Okay.
Oh, and of course, nobody likes pictures of beautiful women hanging out in cemeteries.
Absolutely never. It's so morbid. Nobody wants to see it, but everybody goes and looks. But it did great. You know, it drew in on average about 1,700 hits per day for the first few years, and then this nice little nasty snake bite called social media came in. And it just bled all of it off. The models, instead of promoting people to go to the site, they want to post everything on their MySpace profile, which would now be their Facebook profile. Then you had the modeling communities pop up right behind it, too. And they wanted to post their stuff there. So instead of people going to the site to see it, they were seeing the material on all these other sites. Right. And I kept trying to push it, but I couldn't get those hits back up to the number it needed to be. So I said, you know what? Instead of trying to do it this way, let's pull the plug on it and take it to print. So that's what we did. And we took it to print, and up until yesterday, it's only been available as print, and we just ported it over to digital on all the platforms. You can even download it to a computer and view it now.
Nice.
But you actually have to download a file. It's not a matter of just going to a site to see it. You have to click it, download it, save it, and then open it as a PDF.
And we just started running Stiff Mag ads. I'd say this is our second show, third show, somewhere along there. It's been fairly recent. And have you guys seen a response from that?
From the free digital?
Yeah, well, just from our ad, have you been getting any inquiries or anything?
Oh, yeah. The traffic is definitely up on the site. It's definitely way up, and it's been way up for about 2 weeks. And I think that's when the first ad aired.
Well, we like to think that we might have had a small part in that, you know.
Awesome.
We like to think that we're getting the message out there.
Yeah, we're pumping it on every angle possible just to try to get this thing out, especially now that we're giving the magazine away. Hopefully it'll draw in some more sponsorship for us, too, and get some more ads going in our digital edition since it's free for everybody to view. But we kind of tested it around with the iPad options over the last few months just to see what happened, and that alone increased our readership by about 12 times. Hopefully between the ads running with you guys and the ads that we're doing on Facebook and the fact that we're giving it away now for free, we're hoping it'll boost it probably about 20 or 30 more times on the readership compared to what we did with just the iPad distribution.
So is it no longer a subscription service?
We actually pulled the plug on subscriptions. There's a few little things that are up my sleeves, possibility at looking at going monthly with it even. So hopefully that'll come together and get all the writers on board with that and make sure that they're able to commit to it because they're all volunteers.
Of course.
But you know, if we can get it up to that point, definitely we'll be releasing it monthly. But to do that, we had to kill subscriptions just to be able to keep it within a realistic cost.
Sure.
If we did a monthly magazine on a subscription base, the cost of the subscription just to print it and mail it would be close to $100 per person.
Yeah.
So with that, it's not even worth doing unless we're hitting tens of thousands of people. That would bring it back down, but we got to get it to that point first.
Now, you know that Stiff Mag sounds like some kind of 1950s stag magazine of some sort. But
yep, and that was absolutely on purpose.
But it absolutely is not. I mean, it is, I would say, PG-13 at best.
Yeah, we even censor ourselves. That, you know, we've caught ourselves a few times crossing out a few vulgarities in our writing, and it's like, wait a second, got to cut that out, and we'll revise it. And we censor ourselves to keep it somewhat, you know, safe. It's edgy content, but we want it to stay clean.
Well, we want it to be, you know, pretty much accessible to everybody. We don't want anybody getting in trouble at work or school or something, downloading something they shouldn't be, obviously. But it is, you know, and it's just more than girls hanging out in cemeteries, as you said at the beginning there.
Yeah, now we've got a full art team behind it. I've not picked up a camera in over a year to do anything myself, but we've got a Mystic and a Justin Cates up in Charlotte that are coordinating all of the photography with this, and what those guys turn out as far as artwork just boggles my mind. They'll shoot a girl in front of a black curtain and fully paint an entire background behind her for every shoot that we do. So every image that goes into that print edition or the digital has got both photography of professional models plus really high-end digital landscapes put in with the model. So they illustrate it as well as shoot it, which is something I can't do.
Do you guys take submissions from artists or photographers? We have friends. I know.
Considering it.
Okay, because I know Jerry has got some friends who have done some work for his CD covers. He's got a very good friend up in the Ohio area and some.
Mm-hmm. Miss Laura Dark.
Laura Dark. I don't know if you're familiar with her.
I know Laura Dark.
Yes.
Her work is astounding.
Yeah, she did the cover for my CD Soul Collector.
Oh, nice.
And she may be involved in another CD as well later on down the line, so we're discussing that.
What we'd like to do once we get to the point of monthly, especially, that's just going to be way too many models for my own team to have to deal with directly. But if it does turn into being something that they can't handle directly, it becomes a possibility to open it up to some other artists and photographers to be able to submit stuff. But they've got to be able to they've got to be willing to do it for the publication, and that's the hardest part. They all come in and they want to do it, then they ask for a huge dollar amount, and we can't do it because the budget's not there. What they overlook is that it's an independent level magazine. Even though we've got a lot of people looking at it, the budget's just not there to pay ridiculous amounts of money to get these artists involved with it. We'd love to have them, but it's up to them to be willing to work with us.
Understand that. It's all about the bucks, but it's all about the exposure as well. You know, if you're willing to do it for exposure, then you can talk.
Yeah, same goes for models. We have a lot of models that come to us from over in Europe. They're wanting to come over here to shoot, and they don't realize the cost involved with flying them plus several bags of wardrobe across the Atlantic to come shoot with us.
Now, has it evolved?
It's not possible.
Has it evolved just beyond girls hanging out in cemeteries?
I got this one. This is my department. I let Shane go on the whole modeling end because that's all his side of things. Yes, it absolutely has. My background is absolutely not photography or art at all. You know, I probably couldn't draw a decent stick man, but my background's complete journalism and writing and everything. And yeah, we've really grown it into just kind of like a variety magazine, if you will, of more of the darker aspects of fandom. Like we're very horror heavy. We're very much into sci-fi and just all types of stuff, man. Like we do a bunch of film reviews, at least 3 or 4 every issue. A lot more in the digital. We do television features. We do gaming features. We have a regular running indie filmmaking 101 column by a local filmmaker, a guy named Jason Buterin, works with a company called Mad Ones Films, and
Jason.
Yeah, that's just kind of like the how-to of indie filmmaking for anyone who wants to get into it. God, man, we do interviews much like you do, and obviously in a lot of the same places you do. Matter of fact, we just this new issue, we just wrapped interviews with Doug Jones from the Hellboy franchise and Silver Surfer and Pan's Labyrinth and all that. Since we're in a time portal and this is now October or November or something, we just finally got the.
What month is it? I don't know.
Yeah, we don't
We're
even know.
We're not sure when this is going to air yet, but it'll be sometime in that time.
We're flying around in the TARDIS right now. Don't even worry about it. But
that would be so cool.
But yeah, we're doing a big feature on the Hellraiser 25th anniversary. Big 4-page pictorial. God, what else? We got a really good exclusive interview with Rico Browning, who I believe was on the Big Scary Show a few weeks ago.
He was. Very nice gentleman.
Yes, absolutely. And you're talking about doing a lot of cons at at a certain age. That's another man I think deserves a nod.
Yeah, he's been in film for over 60 years now. It's closing in on that's an amazing career. Original creature from the Black Lagoon.
So yeah, I mean, long story short, it's a whole lot more than just girls in cemeteries or just modeling. I mean, I know we have a model on every cover, basically because they look better than we do, but we kind of get pigeonholed sometimes as people thinking we're a modeling magazine or just a modeling magazine. That couldn't be farther from the truth.
Or even just a horror magazine. We get branded with that a lot too.
Yeah, it's more about the culture of the fandom rather than just about the things that any certain fandom likes.
And kind of runs that gamut from goth to steampunk to nerd to geek to horror fan to basically any of those, basically people who go to cons, it sounds like.
Yeah, I actually made the comment a few weeks ago when we were down in Jacksonville, Florida for Ancient City Con, that it's kind of a convention in print.
Oh, very cool.
Which seemed to be a really great description for it, and the kids down there, they didn't really buy a lot. They're mostly concerned with buying costumes and gaming equipment, but they've been following up with us since then, trying to keep track of it.
Well, I mean, that's really why we kind of broke into the digital market, it's because we understand that, like publications nowadays are going to make their money off of advertising because, frankly put, nobody's buying magazines anymore. I mean, people can go anywhere. Hell, I can go right now and get any bit of news I want for free. So really the internet kind of, killed the video star, so to speak, I guess.
Yeah, it did. At the same time, you've got a lot of people that are really avid collectors too, though, that still want it in print. So we have to be able to offer both.
That's
options.
how I am. I prefer picking up the actual magazine than reading it online.
Yep.
It's gonna be cheaper, to do it to get the PDF file and everything. But I'm one of those people. Same with CDs. I would rather buy the CD and buy the DVD rather than go download it, because it's not tangible, it's not physical, you can't touch it.
Well,
Absolutely agreed.
I agree with you, Jerry, but I got to say, I downloaded an issue of Stiff Mag onto my iPad, and it was nice to be able to do that.
Well, I don't own an iPad yet, so. I'm not the technological god like you.
For the mail.
Right. It was a great way to, and offering it for free on the iPad for that one or two issues, it was really neat to be able to open it up and read it right there and digitally. And with the iPad screen, it's beautiful, so it's almost looking at a print copy.
Yep. Yeah, the quality is definitely there, and it's all a matter of getting it out to the people, and that's the easiest way to do it is just give it away.
Yeah, maybe if people really like it, they can absolutely buy the print edition. I mean, we're completely indie, and every dollar that comes in is actually going to us, to our staff, and to getting more events like that out there. I mean, we're not feeding some corporate machine.
It also helps keep me highly caffeinated, because anybody that doesn't know me, I will tell you now, I'm an absolute coffee fiend, and the walking and the thinking and the talking doesn't happen without it.
The walking and the thinking and the talking.
That's why he looks so blurry all the time when I'm talking to him. It's because that slight vibration he's always doing, because he is so dang hyped up on it.
Caffeinated.
No, well, see, I'm just moving really fast.
Yeah, but I gotta ask, do you drink just straight black coffee, or do you drink those foo-foo coffees?
I drink about probably 3 pots worth of straight black coffee a day, and at least 10 or 12 shots of espresso on top of it.
Wow. When do you sleep?
Sleep?
What's that?
Exactly.
Wait a minute, people sleep? I want to raise.
There's sleep? I don't have time for that.
Sleep when you're dead.
Yeah, the fun part that a lot of people have started learning lately is I stay really busy. between the magazine and the convention, I've also got to fit in school plus a full-time job. So I've got a lot on my plate at any given time. I have no time for sleep. It's all about getting work done.
Well, gentlemen, according to the clock on the wall here, our time is running a little bit short. We'll give you the opportunity here to plug again MonsterCon and Stiff Mag, give you an opportunity to send people to the websites for more information. How can they go about getting all that good stuff?
Again, MonsterCon 2013, July 26th to 28th, 2013, at the Greenville Hilton in Greenville, South Carolina. For tickets, vending, more info, guest announcements, pretty much everything you can think of that you would want at a convention, just go to www.monstercon.org. I'll even get all radio. That's www.monstercon.org. And for Stiff, that's background. But for Stiff Magazine, just go to www.stiffmag.com and give us a try. Just download an issue. We're available for iPad, iPhone, Android, and home computer PDF.
Cool.
And that home computer PDF is just absolutely massive, by the way. I built it with all of the detail that goes off to a print company to keep it looking great. So if you've got a really high-end, high-capacity video card in your computer, you're going to see every detail of that. It renders each individual layer separately to keep the quality there.
Wow. Very, very cool. Well, Shane Trotter and Dave Harlequin, I want to thank you both for taking the time out of your extremely busy schedules to brew another pot of coffee and come and chat with us for a little while. You guys are good sponsors to us. We love working with you. We're glad that you like the commercials and that they're actually providing results for both.
We're glad to be part of it.
We're happy to have you. We're glad that we're bringing customers to Stiff Mag and hopefully bringing a few to MonsterCon. But I guess we'll have to wait till July to find out final numbers on that. But I'm sure that when we do, we will certainly get on the air to talk about it. Also like to thank the Unknown Scare Actor.
Thank you guys for coming on, and it's great talking to you for the first time.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
And, of course, the haunt rocker Jerry Vane, who decided to join us on this evening to talk a little bit about this.
I enjoyed it. Thank you, guys.
Absolutely. Once again, Drew Badger here. We're talking to MonsterCon and Stiff Mag organizers Dave Harlequin and Shane Trotter. Thank you guys very much for taking the time to speak with us. Keep listening to The Big Scary Show. We'll be right back.
Are you a fan of the alternative lifestyle? Do you like horror films and gaming reviews? How about drop-dead gorgeous ladies? If you answered yes, then you need to check out Stiff Mag. Stiff Mag is a bi-monthly horror, alternative culture, and entertainment publication that features our horror film reviews, our Tech from the Crypt and Graveyard Gaming features, killer reading, literary features, music reviews, columns, and of course our beautiful Graveyard Girls. For subscription information, visit stiffmag.com. That's stiffmag.com.
Greetings, mortals, and anything else listening. Welcome to the Big Scary Show's Deadline News. We have news from the Flint, Michigan Horror Convention, sent in via email, news@bigscaryshow.com. The Flint Horror Convention has 2 great events coming to mid-Michigan this October. In early October, if there's a chill in the air, then you'll know that it came from the local. On Thursday, October 11th, the Flint Horror Convention is invading the Flint Local 432 for a night of free independent horror films. In honor of the 2012 Flint Horror Con, they have an evening of international terror planned, featuring films that have been submitted to the convention this year. From zombies to flesh-eating fog to timeless killers, they have it all, and it's all free. It Came from the Local will be held at the Flint Local 432, located at 124 West 1st Street in Flint, Michigan, from 7 until 11 p.m. on October 11th. So call your best ghoul friend or boyfriend and make sure to come out for It Came from the Local, presented by the Flint Horror Convention. For more information, email
flinthorrorcon@gmail.com. Also on October 20th is the Flint Horror Convention. On Saturday, October 20th, the Flint Horror Convention returns for its second year of inexpensive terror. All the fun will be taking place at downtown Flint's Masonic Temple and will be on all 3 floors of this historic building. This year, there will be vending on the first 2 floors and independent horror films from around the world on the 3rd floor. Joining this year's convention will be celebrity guests such as Ari Lehman, Cleve Hall, Kevin Van Henterick, Walter Phelan, Tom Sullivan, John Tenney, and local legend of dark music Lucifer Fulci. Joining their guests will be nearly 50 vendors selling everything from movies to posters to art and more. They'll also have a costume contest for the adults and one for the younger folks, both with prizes for the winners. On stage, they'll have a live tattoo from Almighty Tattoo given to a lucky contest winner picked by Almighty. There will also be a dance performance by troupe Saba Zamora on the main stage. National charitable organization Scares That Care will also be at the convention, raising money for their work with children. And all of this will be presented by their guest MC and former Big Scary Show guest, Wolfman Mac Kelly. The Flint Horror Convention will be held from noon until 10 p.m. at the downtown Flint Masonic Temple, 755 South Saginaw Street in Flint, Michigan, and only cost $10 to attend. For more information, flinthorrorcon.com. We have some news on FearNet. FearNet, the premier TV, video on demand, and web destination for horror, suspense, and thriller programming, is now selling dynamic ad insertion, or DAI, capabilities in its free video on demand content on cable set-top boxes. Sony Pictures Television, who represents FearNet's ad sales effort, began inserting commercial DAI spots for 10 advertisers last month. The first advertisers taking advantage of the initial DAI launch on FearNet include Volvo, Focus Features, including the movie Paranorman, Anchor Bay Entertainment with The Walking Dead Season 2 DVD, Stars, including Breathless and Piranha 3 Double D, and Magnolia Pictures, which put out VHS. With the advent of commercial DAI capabilities, this new advertising service enables cable networks like FearNet to reduce the amount of time it takes for ads to be inserted, updated, and reported. It therefore provides advertising agencies and national advertisers the immediate ability to directly connect with consumers when they are most engaged, while providing an accurate measurement of the reach of that engagement. FearNet's on-demand content is in 27 million homes, and its linear TV network is growing quarterly. It is now in 7 million U.S. households and is expected to reach over 10 million by the end of the year. With October, its most popular month, FearNet will be adding special Halloween programming treats to its schedule, as well as bringing back the Emmy Award-winning anthology horror series Tales from the Crypt, beginning Friday, October 5th, when FearNet debuts TV versions of the groundbreaking program on its linear channel and prevents originals on its video-on-demand platform. For more information, visit www.fearnet.com. We have some news from MonsterCon 2013, courtesy of Shane Trotter via email, news@bigscaryshow.com. The final deadline for artist and creator space reservations at MonsterCon 2013 has been set for October 15th, 2012. This is the last few weeks to get them for the reduced rate of $150. They are now selling spaces in Section 2, as the original artist section has been sold out for over 2 months. After October 15th, all remaining spaces will be returned to the standard vending inventory of $250 per booth. If you are interested in claiming a space, please make your reservation as early as possible using the PayPal option at www.monstercon.org before it slips away. Standard vending spaces will continue to be offered until January 1st, 2013 at the current $250 pricing. MonsterCon 2013 will be held July 26th through the 28th, 2013 in Greenville, South Carolina. More information can be found at monstercon.org. We have some news about the Kindle book Value of Jade. Value of Jade, the sequel to Mace of the Apocalypse, is now available through Amazon for the low introductory price of only 99 cents. The world has been decimated by a powerful toxin that kills and then reanimates the dead. A small pocket of survivors struggle to create a safe zone in Kansas, knowing that time is running out. Sarah Thompson, one of their members, is having visions. What she sees terrifies her. Something is coming. Something very, very bad. Meanwhile, 3 months after the final battle with a teenage gang, Mace Marconi has recovered enough to lead his group towards Overland Park, Kansas. A promise was made by his fiancée Jade to deliver an antidote, and she is determined to have her baby away from the horrors of San Francisco. The road is filled with danger, however, and the odds are not in their favor. Zombies rule the landscape and are everywhere. What none of them know is that the infection is mutated, and it's now much, much worse. You can start reading The Value of Jade, or Mace of the Apocalypse number 2, on your Kindle in less than a minute by going to www.amazon.com and searching for Value of Jade. We have a bit of news about George Romero's Night of the Living Dead. On October 1st, 1968, George A. Romero's Night of the Living Dead premiered in Pittsburgh with a total budget of only $114,000. Although the film originally received mixed reviews from film critics, it eventually was selected by the Library of Congress for preservation within the National Film Registry as a film deemed culturally, historically, or aesthetically significant. After more than 40 years of re-releases and international sales, the film has grossed over $250 million, making it one of the most successful horror films ever created. Now, a couple of independent filmmakers and screenwriters are looking to turn this iconic classic into a theatrical play, though the idea is currently looking for fundraising via Indiegogo.com, a site similar to Kickstarter. The theatrical re-imaging is titled Night of the Living Dead Live, and here's what the creators have to say about the project. Quote, Night of the Living Dead Live will captivate audiences as they experience this classic told in the intimate setting of a live theater. This will bring the viewer closer to the story than ever before, as they are literally sitting in the house with the characters as they fight and kill their way through the marauding ghouls. At the end of the show, everyone in the room will know what it's like to experience a night with the living dead. Unquote. The play is being directed by Christopher Bond, the co-creator and co-director of Evil Dead the Musical. If you want to see the theatrical play come to life, feel free to donate at the play's Indiegogo page, www.indiegogo.com/NOTLDL. We have some news from Lionsgate Home Entertainment. Lionsgate Home Entertainment has released details on 2 direct-to-DVD movies heading your way soon. Up first is A Vampire's Tale, coming out December 4th, starring Doug Bradley from Hellraiser. When a dysfunctional family moves into a remote farm, they find themselves in the middle of a centuries-old feud. As night falls, terror emerges from the darkness in the form of a deadly seductress and a vampire cowboy hell-bent on revenge. As the evil continues to plague this family, they'll discover that sometimes darkness is your only friend. Director Drew Cullingham and Bradley participate in an audio commentary, and the disc will also include a making-of featurette. And on December 11th, look for Bigfoot Country, or Bigfoot County, a found footage offering. A documentary filmmaker and his crew venture up into Siskiyou County, known for their Bigfoot sightings. While there to investigate, they meet a local who leads them into the woods, showing them evidence of Bigfoot's existence. As they document everything on film, a series of unfortunate events occurs, leaving many unanswered questions and only this footage to draw conclusions. Look for these to be released on DVD in December. For more information, visit www.lionsgate.com. We have some news from the New Jersey Horror Fest. On Saturday, October 13th, 2012, the New Jersey Horror Fest takes over the historic Landis Theater for a day of the very best that independent horror has to offer. Little Red Wagon Films presents the New Jersey Horror Fest, a horror festival showcasing the best and brightest in the world of independent horror. Submissions are currently open and will be until September 30th. There are numerous horror film festivals around the country, but there wasn't one in New Jersey until now. There will be prizes awarded for Best Short, Best Feature, and Best Director. On Friday, October 12th, is the Pre-Party Festival. Come party with fellow horror enthusiasts and win some great prizes as well. The mighty Triple X, one of South Jersey's leading rock bands, will be performing. Come meet independent filmmakers, actors and actresses, and other industry professionals. This great event will be taking place at The Rail Bar in Richland, New Jersey. The party begins at 7 and goes all night. Then on Saturday, October 13th, the New Jersey Horror Fest begins with 12 hours of non-stop independent horror awesomeness when that will invade the Landis Theater. Doors open at 10 a.m. and the movies begin rolling at 11 a.m. and will not stop until 11 p.m. If there are tickets remaining, they can be purchased at the door. The schedule will be posted on their website beginning September 30th, so you can plan your day. There's a great restaurant attached to the Landis Theater, and it will be open the entire day. There are also great places within walking distance of the theater, and there will be an after party at Maury's, which is the restaurant attached to the theater. For more information, visit www.njhorrorfest.com. And we have some news from the Hellmouth Haunted House in Lakewood, Washington, via Facebook. Attention! Anyone wanting to act, volunteer, or do makeup in the haunt this year, please message me via Facebook ASAP. The dates are Friday, October 26th, Saturday, October 27th, and Wednesday, October 31st. There's an actor meeting Saturday and or Sunday, October 20th and 21st. For more information, visit facebook.com/HalloweenHellmouth. The Big Scary Show would like to offer congratulations and a shout-out to Jerry Chandler of Richmond, Virginia, for being our 666th like on Facebook. In addition to being our most evil of likes, Jerry also wins a CD prize package consisting of Midnight Syndicate's latest release, Carnival Arcane, and the new CD, A Time Forgotten, from Midnight Syndicate and vocalist Destiny Beard. A special thanks to Midnight Syndicate and Entity Productions for this prize package, and thank you once again, Jerry Chandler of Richmond, for being our 666th like. Keep listening and enjoy those CDs. Remember, folks, every 100th like gets you a mention on Deadline News. We'll be giving away more of Midnight Syndicate's prize packages over the next couple of weeks, so please keep listening and visiting our Facebook page for your chance to win. Remember, folks, if you have news about the haunt, horror, or Halloween industry, please send it to us at news@bigscaryshow.com, and we'll get it on the air. No news is too big or too small. This concludes this edition of the Big Scary Show's Deadline News. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Big Scary Show. Drew Badger here, along with the unknown scare actor,
hiding deep down in the Big Scary Show studios.
And I'm sure he's recovering from an absolutely frightening weekend of scaring at the Dent Schoolhouse, a top-notch haunt, even more top-notch given that you are there. But
I've got one word for that.
We're not going to hear it, are we? Or
yes,
are we?
You are. The word is ouch.
Ouch. Oof. Getting old sucks, doesn't it?
Yes.
But we're not here to discuss soreness and aging and all that. We're here to see if we can get a winner for the second gruesome giveaway sponsored by Screamline Studios. You know the rules, folks. Go to Facebook, like the Big Scary Show on Facebook, then listen to the show when we post our trivia question. What we have done is we have taken from all the entrants who participated and everyone who submitted an answer up to the first 250. We scrambled the names up in no particular order, went to mathgoody.com, which has a random number generator, had the random number generator give us a number, and the number that we gave is the person we hope to have on the line right now. Finalist, are you on the line right now?
I am.
And what is your name? Where are you from?
Jennifer Conrad. I'm from Effingham, Illinois.
Well, welcome, Jennifer. This is the Big Scary Show's gruesome giveaway, and I am Drew Badger, and this is the Unknown Scare Actor.
Somewhere around here.
Somewhere around here. Basically, you know how this works. You listen to the show. We hope you like the show. Like us on Facebook. We posed a question, and let's find out if you know the answer. The question we gave for the second gruesome giveaway was, how did Ari Lehman sneak onto the set of Manny's Orphans? I must ask you 2 questions, Jennifer, before we get the answer here. 1, have we contacted you in any way other than to let you know the time to call in?
On Facebook to say that I won, or that I was a finalist.
You had not won, but just the time to call in, correct?
Right, correct.
Okay. And 2, have we influenced your answer in any way, shape, or form?
No.
Okay.
Well, Ari Lehman snuck into the audition of Manny's Orphans by bringing a clipboard, acting professional because he didn't have an agent. He asked where the auditions were being held, and he got the reply upstairs. He ran upstairs into the audition room where he was handed a script. He then auditioned and got the part.
Unknown Scare Actor, does that sound right to you?
Well, my first question is, where did she get the transcript?
No, I thought, well, I read about it, but I kind of did it by, I didn't do it word for word. I didn't think so.
I was joking. I'm just kidding around.
Well, congratulations, Jennifer Conrad. You are the winner. Ari Lehman snuck onto the set, grabbed a clipboard, acted like he was there, went upstairs, and got a part in Manny's Orphans. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Unknown Scare Actor, please tell her what she has won.
Wait, I got to do the copious applause first.
Okay. We'll sound
okay, and my dog's in on it, too. You have won a makeup DVD and a bottle of latex, both from Screamline Studios.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
And be sure and check out ScreamlineStudios.com for a whole wide range of DVDs, latex, props, all sorts of really, really great things. They're a great sponsor of the show. We encourage you to support them and tell all your friends to support them. Jennifer, are you a haunter? Do you work at a haunted attraction?
I do. I work at Night Terrors of Effingham. It's nightterrorsofeffingham.com.
That is in Effingham, Illinois, I take it?
Correct.
Most excellent. Well, Jennifer, stay on the line for just a couple of moments so we can get your contact information and know where to ship your prize to. Once again, Jennifer Conrad of Effingham, Illinois, the second winner of the Big Scary Show's gruesome giveaway, sponsored by Screamline Studios. Keep listening. Tell all your friends to listen, because people really do win on the Big Scary Show.
Sinister Sonics, Zombo's Midnight Midway on the Big Scary Show.
And as the dulcet tones of Virgil Franklin's faux Elvis fade into the ether, welcome again to yet another episode of the Round Table of Terror. And what promises to be, shall we say, a lively discussion, as we always strive to bring you here on the Big Scary Show. We're going in a little bit different direction this time. We're not going to talk ghosts or zombies or anything like that. We're going to kind of go along the avant-garde, you might say. We're talking with photographers, makeup artists, and models who, shall we say, model the darker side of life or reality or unreality. We have on the line from Columbus, Ohio, famed photographer Laura Dark. How are you this evening?
I'm very good, thank you.
We also have from the Chicagoland area, Deanna Roberts, makeup artist. Are you there?
Hey, Badge, how you doing? Yes, I am.
Most excellent. And one of Laura's favorite models, no doubt, model Jackie Steinert, also from Columbus, Ohio. How are you guys tonight? Jackie,
I'm
you
good.
there?
How are you guys?
Excellent. And we're going to talk a little bit about dark photography, avant-garde fashion, and, you know, kind of a gothic kind of theme, maybe a little bit something else. We'll just have to find out. But I am not alone with these three lovely ladies, unfortunately. I also have the unknown scare actor.
Too bad for you, Badger.
Yes, sirree. Storm.
Greetings, always here to ruin a party.
And the haunt rocker, Jerry Vane. And I am Drew Badger. Welcome to the Round Table of Terror, ladies.
Thank you so much.
Laura, we'll start with you. How did you kind of get started into photography? I mean, everybody at one point or another picks up a camera, takes a few pictures, but how did you kind of get started in this, and how did you decide to kind of take, shall we say, this darker direction for your photography?
Well, I actually started doing photography in high school. I was asked to be the yearbook photographer, I guess, and I never used a regular camera. I'd always used point and shoots, so I didn't even know where to get a hold of one. I went to my grandfather and asked him if I could borrow his camera because I knew that he had one. Didn't even know if he'd let me borrow it or not, but he told me he'd actually give it to me because he didn't use it anymore. So I took it, and it was a fully manual camera, and I had no one to teach me how to use it. I just had to kind of figure it out on my own. So I started doing pictures for the yearbook, and I loved it. And I knew I wanted to go to art school after I left high school, so I did. I went to Columbus College of Art and Design to get my bachelor's in art, and I was there for 2 years, and I hated it. Everybody came out kind of being in this little box, and you had to draw a square, and it had to be this way, and you had to draw a circle, and it had to be this way. And I kind of felt like I didn't fit in that square, and I didn't fit in that circle, so I dropped out of college, and I went back home to where I grew up in my hometown, and there was a photographer there who had been in business for around 120 years. Her family had owned the business, mostly women, passed it down from generation to generation, and she didn't really have anybody to take over after she left, so she was looking for somebody to apprentice and take over the business when she decided to retire. I went and apprenticed under her for 2 years doing portrait commercial photography. And then when she left, she wanted me to buy the business from her, but I didn't. Of course, freshly out of college, didn't have any money. So I bought some of her equipment and then broke off on my own and started doing my own stuff. I worked a lot with bands in the beginning and then started shooting their girlfriends, boudoir stuff, and some darker gothic stuff, and then just kind of took off from there. I met a few models and that were involved in some magazines, started shooting them, and just went bananas. From that point on, I started getting hit up by magazines left and right, and Fashion designers started contacting me, and models, girls wanting to model, girls just wanting dark pictures of themselves. And then I started working for a haunted house in Mount Vernon called House of Nightmares. And they had been in business for around 8 years when I started working for them, and I started doing all their photography, and then that led into more working for other haunted houses and doing photography for them. And so that's kind of how I broke into that, is I actually started as an actor in a haunt, and they picked me up to do their print work and their ad work. So, and then I picked up everything and moved back to Columbus and started my studio here, and it's just been kind of crazy over the last few years, taken off and gone all, and, you know, pretty much keep busy to the point where I could probably use another shooter at this point. So that's
there
good.
You have it, folks. If you're looking to get into photography, you may be looking for an apprentice. All you got to do is hang around and shoot very hot ladies, right?
It's
It's horribly difficult job.
Oh, of course.
It is. It's awful.
As I put my house up for sale to move out there now.
Well, I do teach photography workshops as well, and I can teach you how to become a photographer, and then you can take it back out there, and you can shoot lovely ladies out there, too.
Yes, all the blue hairs are lining up already.
Well, there you go. You should franchise the Laura Dark Studio, and you should set up a whole series of them around the country.
I can do a book of goth grannies. Yes.
There you go.
Yeah, because that's
I'm sure there's a niche market for that place.
Yeah, I'm sure that website would pay for itself.
No.
Absolutely.
Next.
So how did you manage to hook up with Deanna and Jackie? I mean, I've known Jackie for a few years. I've known Deanna for a few years, but, you know, we've only met on a couple of occasions. So how did you just kind of run in the same circles with them, or did they come to you, or how did that all work out? Because you guys do an awful lot of work together, I've noticed, so especially over the last 1 or 2 years.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I actually met Jackie first. Jackie came to me because she needed images. You needed images for a business card? Is that what you needed? Images?
No,
Is that what
it just kind of turned into my business card. The images we shot just kind of morphed into my current business card. I came to Laura Dark Studios just because I was starting to get deeper and deeper into the modeling industry, and in the industry you get what you pay for, and I had an okay portfolio at the time, but I mean it wasn't anything special. It wasn't anything that was going to get me noticed or in a magazine or, paid work. So I had known of Laura for about a year and a half at that time. I was a little bit of a stalker. I'll admit that. It's okay. I'm a little bit still of a stalker. That's okay too. But I remembered seeing her work and just loving it, and loving the edginess of it, and wanting to be one of those girls in Laura Dark's pictures. I wanted to have one of those iconic images. When you see it, you go, oh, that's Laura Dark photography. So I paid for a shoot, and I paid for hair and styling and the whole 9 yards, and I got there, and I absolutely loved it. I loved her. I loved everybody at the studio. It was amazing. My wardrobe was beautiful. And I love the fact that, instead of, taking my idea and making it into their own idea, they took my idea and, helped me build on it. Instead of, creating their own image, they helped me create the vision that was in my head, And the very first shoot that I turned out with Laura actually became one of Jerry's CD images. And it actually became one of my iconic pieces of, the Gravedigger.
Or as it's called, no, not for my CD, the Soul Collector.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was going to say, Jerry has a special relationship with you guys because Jackie is on the cover of Soul Collector, and I believe you took that picture, and it's just an amazing, amazing piece of art.
Yeah, Jackie contacted me and said, you got to see this picture, and I just went nuts over it and tracked down Laura right then, and trust me, I definitely plan on using some more of her work later on down the line. We'll talk later.
Well, and when I met Jackie, she actually reminded me a lot of myself when I was younger. And I mean, yeah, actually, it's kind of weird because Jackie and I, we look a little bit alike, and our birthdays are the same day. And I just kind of attached myself to her. I don't know why, but and she's become my muse. She really has. We've created some of the best work I've ever done, probably ever I've done with Jackie. And so I'm glad that she came to me, and I mean I think it was the best thing that happened maybe to both of us. I'm speaking for her now.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think you guys work so well together?
Well, we play off each other really well. Jackie comes to me and she says, I had this idea for, to do this shoot, and it has this and this and this in it. And I'm like, oh, that's so cool. Let's take it and let's do this with it, or let's light it this way, or here's something that I thought about doing. And we can play well off of each other and create an image, and it doesn't, like, my input doesn't detract from her idea, and her input doesn't detract from my idea. And it's hard to explain unless you really kind of had that relationship with somebody, that kind of working relationship. But over the last couple years that we've been working together, we've just, I think, bonded not only as muse and artists, but as friends too. And I think that makes a big difference in the studio.
Is it rare? Is it rare to find somebody that you have a working relationship like that? I mean, I do photography very much amateurish, but I have a couple of people that I work with on a regular basis that are very, very easy to work with. They take direction well. They know what to do, but I don't know.
Sorry about that. That was a text message coming through my phone.
What was that?
That was a text message coming through my phone.
Oh my. It's also kind of the same thing with Deanna. I had actually known Deanna. I'm not going to say known. I'm going to say known who Deanna was for, a couple of years after I'd actually got into the industry, just because, I knew this person and so did she, and we'd, said hi to each other, but we've never really talked. And then Deanna and I, after she went to makeup school, I started seeing her work and commenting on it because it was, she was doing so well at makeup artistry. And I said something to her one night about, have you ever thought about, Laura Dark Studios coming down to doing makeup? She goes, oh my gosh, I'm shooting at Laura Dark Studios tomorrow. I said, oh my gosh, I'm the model at Laura Dark Studios tomorrow. So that was one of the funny things, how Deanna kind of came into the picture, and she's, Deanna has really become, the kind of third in our group. She's, the third, who she really helps Laura and I to create our visions. It's one thing where Laura has an image and I can provide, the actual modeling and stuff for her, but Deanna goes in and she actually does the makeup and, helps the image just come to life and is colorful and beautiful. And she's, integrated so deeply in Laura Dark Studios now that it's really become an amazing thing to have this group of people together.
I've noticed looking at the photos that I can tell it's the three of you before I even ever see who the credits are of who did the makeup and everything, because the three of you have gelled so well together. You've created your own look, I guess is the best I could describe it. You have that signature look that the three of you combined together create, compared to the other work that I've seen Laura done with different makeup artists and different models.
Right. Yeah, definitely. I agree with that. I think there is a distinct look that when I work with Deanna and when I work with Jackie, and Jackie's right. When we brought in Deanna, it added to what Jackie and I do a lot. I mean, tremendously. I can go to Deanna and I can say, here's some makeup that I like. I may have liked, like the eyes from this look and maybe the lips from this look, and Deanna can knock it out. I mean, without I don't know, I never have to question that. And that's so important to have in a studio as a makeup artist, that you can do that to, because if the makeup isn't right in the photograph, I mean, and there's so much you can do with Photoshop, but you can tell that kind of stuff with makeup. And I don't ever have to worry about that with Deanna. I know that whatever I ask of Deanna, that she is.
The three of you have a synchronicity that works together.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. Yes, definitely. Jackie and I spend a lot of time together, even outside of the studio, socializing. Like she said, we've known each other through the haunt industry for many years. And with Laura, I was a big fangirl. And when I saw her work, I'm like, I need to do this. And I had been starting my life all over again and taking a new turn in my career. And she put out a shout out that she was looking for a makeup artist, and I jumped all over that chance. And I drive, it's over 300 miles each way. And for me, it is absolutely worth it. I've put over 40,000 miles on my car in the last year and a half that I've known Laura. And again, it is worth every mile.
You do get a tax write-off for mileage, though, right?
I certainly hope so.
It was up to over 50 cents a mile last I remember.
My accountant says so.
It's one of those amazing things about Deanna, too, is that she's so dedicated to what she does. It's not just makeup to Deanna. Like, when Deanna does a makeup piece, she puts everything she has into it. It's not just, you want this look? All right, I can do that. It's, this would be good for this look because of these reasons. She puts her heart and soul behind what she does. And you can see, if you've ever watched Deanna work, that she really, really loves what she does, and that's a huge thing. She will pick apart everything that she sees, and, this is going to be good about it. This is a strong point in this. This is going to be great about it. And she pulls all those things and puts them together and turns out some of the most incredible makeup pieces that I know that I have ever been, honored to wear. I can, give Deanna, I know the best example is probably the octopus photo shoot, because Deanna put up with a lot for that shoot. Deanna did an amazing makeup for that shoot, and then she had to put up with cutting off an octopus tentacle for me. And that's asking a lot of Deanna. But, she came through and she did it without throwing up, and it was fantastic.
Yeah, that was the shoot that we decided we were going to stop putting things on top of Jackie's head and start putting them in her mouth.
That shoot just creeped me out.
That shoot was something else. There are lots of times where
in Japan.
Oh God.
Yeah, there are lots of times where Jackie and Laura will individually and collectively touch base with me about a look or an idea, and they will send me some fantastic images that are meant to be inspiration for it. And I get the idea. I can see the vision. And I'm one of those kind of people that I start picturing everything way in advance, down to the detail of what it's going to look like. And granted, sometimes there are happy mistakes in the long run. And it's all going to end up working out the way it's supposed to. Laura's heard me say that 1,001 times. Oh my God, it's all falling apart. Nope, it's going to be better. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to work out the way it's supposed to. And
Deanna is my voice of reason.
Driving force. She's always positive. She's always, assuring us, yes, Jackie's hair all just fell out, but it's okay. It's going to work. We're going to make it work. It's going to happen.
Yes. So, and I love working with the both of them. It's not even work for me. It's a time for me being in the studio. I'm playing dress up with my best girlfriends, and so that to me is it's not work. It's we're just there creating. We're giving birth.
Yep.
I've said it a couple times in various interviews and documentaries and stuff that we've done, that Laura Dark Studios is definitely a manna for the creative soul. It's a place where we can all come together and, make the impossible possible and, make it a whole new reality for people to look at when they see the art we create. And I refer to it a lot as art and not just photos or pictures or modeling. It's art. It very much is art to all of us. Mm-hmm. We have a deep emotional investment in everything that we do, and everything that we put out that you guys see is, it comes from us 100% heart and soul.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so many people think that, for a photo shoot, you walk into the studio and you set up some lights and you snap some pictures and bam, you have an image. And that's certainly not what happens at our studio. And we've done a few behind-the-scenes videos where you can get a little bit of a glimpse of that, but, of course, the video is 5 minutes, 10 minutes long, whatever, and you don't get to see that we start at 9 o'clock in the morning and we walk out of there at midnight. And, we do multiple looks. Every time we're in the studio, we probably do the least that we've ever done as a group is maybe 2-3 looks, but usually we're in there for the long haul. We're doing 7, 8, 9, 10 looks every Sunday. We're in there, and
there's a difference between shooting in a photography studio and to quote a phrase, being in Laura Dark Studios and having the Laura Dark experience. It definitely is an experience being in there and being with everybody and turning out the art that we do.
Yeah, and it's hair. I mean, it's kind of like going to a spa. I can't remember who I was talking to, and they said every time I come to your studio, I feel like I've gone to the spa, because they get, they come in and of course, the first chair they send in is Deanna's, and Deanna, make sure that their skin is clean and moisturized, and they go through the foundation and the powder and the blush and the contouring, and they're in the chair for an hour and a half, and then they move the hair and they get their hair brushed and styled, and a lot of times they get their fingernails painted, and it's kind of like going to the spa, and then you get your photo taken. So
it's a really, really dark, gothy spa.
Yeah, really scary spa.
Yeah.
Well, I've got to say that I've known Jackie for a couple of years now, and I've known Deanna for over a year. And Laura, I just recently met you at Midwest for the first time. But the three of you create, when you do your photography, when you do your shoots, you create an illusion, and the illusion is complete. It takes you out of reality. And, knowing Jackie as I have for 2 years, sometimes it's hard to recognize her in your shoots. And that's not a bad thing. It's just the way that you guys, everything you do, from the makeup to the photography to the posing, it all falls into place with the three of you.
Right. And that's something.
Chameleon.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Jackie is, and that's another reason why, going back here, another reason why Jackie makes a great muse for me is because I need somebody who can be beautiful and be sexy, but they can also be scary, and they can be dark and creepy, and and Jackie's not afraid to, and it sounds horrible, but she's not afraid to get ugly if she has to.
Okay,
not that Jackie could ever be.
I'm pretty scary. That's what I am.
Not that Jackie could ever be ugly, but there's a couple pictures I have of her that she doesn't particularly care for, I don't think, as the Jackal, and nobody ever knows that it's Jackie because it's so frightening and horrible. And but
it's actually really funny because they're back to back in her book. Again, if everybody buys Laura Dark's book, you'll see there's back-to-back pictures of me as the Jackal, and then there's me, glammed up, and nobody ever realizes that it's the same model. I don't think there's one person who's looked at those books and said, "Oh, this is the same model."
Well, there's one picture of Jackie that you have of her with the white dress and the white wig and the white face with the kind of like the black shadowed eyes, and that. I actually used that picture. I had it on my screen while I was recording for the attic, and I was using that picture as kind of the basis for the entity that was possessing the character for the CD. So when I was recording, that picture was on the screen, and it helped me get a feel for for different sections of the album. So your work has actually been used several times to help kind of inspire different things that I'm trying to portray and get across in my music.
Want to take your haunt to a new dimension of terror? Then let Dark Imaginings conjure up some ghoulish graphics and web design services for your home, haunt, or crypt. Since 2007, professional and home haunters alike have trusted our award-winning and dedicated skeleton crew to make their nightmares come true. Whether you need graphic design services, logos, websites, spooky visuals, or creepy changing portraits, we can help your business look its scary best. To see more of our products and services, drop by darkimaginings.com. Let us help you get ahead of your competition.
That's really cool. I didn't know that.
I actually have the Soul Collector cover that Jackie and Laura signed, sitting here, hanging right over my my recording console right now. So.
Aw, I feel loved. That's awesome.
Well, speaking of inspiration, especially in the haunted industry, what do you three think is the biggest influence in what photography can bring to haunt attractions and to industry itself? And we'll throw that to Laura first to start out and chime in on.
Well, I think that a lot of haunted attractions don't consider what real life imagery of their haunts can bring to like their websites and their commercials. They depend a lot on drawn pictures and
a lot of
computer
CG,
generated computer generated imagery and stuff like that. But what people really want to see is, what is that haunted house really like? What am I going to walk into when I get there? What does the facade look like, and what do some of the rooms look like, and what am I going to face when I get there? And a lot of times haunted attractions have some really great facades. They have some really great rooms, and they have, great makeup artists and actors to be in their haunts that nobody ever really sees, because when you're scared, and like you should be when you go through a haunted attraction, and it's dark, and you're thinking about escaping and not really paying attention, you miss a lot of that kind of stuff. And I think having some real life, honest to God, what's in your haunt photography on your website really helps your patrons kind of prepare themselves and maybe even bring some people in who wouldn't normally come in, because maybe they're going to bring Uncle Bob, who's scared to death of clowns, because they saw a clown room in your haunt that they didn't know was there because you didn't have any pictures on your website beforehand. So I think that a lot of owners don't realize how much real images of their haunt can really help them, and especially if they're done well. Walking through the haunt with a camera with a flash on it is not going to get you good pictures of your haunt. You need to have somebody in there who knows how to light, and that's something that, not to toot my own horn or ring my own bell, but I've been doing this for a long time, and I know how to go in and light the actor in the room and bring out really what I think the people who built the rooms were putting meaning behind what they wanted the viewers to see when they came through.
You can see a really good example of that. Laura and I went last year and spent an entire day, morning to night, at 100 Acre Manor in Pittsburgh, and we shot their rooms and their actors and, everything together, and it brought out some incredible pictures of the characters in those rooms that you were going to come across when you go through this haunted house. And for 100 Acre Manor, like the outside of their facade lit at night and everything. So people saw that and they said, "Oh, I want to go see that." You know, photography is really a very intricate part of, you know, drawing people into your haunted house.
Absolutely. And Laura comes at it not just from a typical photographer standpoint. Again, she's a previous haunter herself, working in the haunted industry. So she gets it. She has a love for it and a passion for it. And she's going to highlight someone's haunt to the best of her capabilities.
Yeah, being a fan of it also is a big part of it. Well, because if you're not into it, you're not going to get the best out of it.
Exactly. Yep.
And same here. I started out as just a home haunter, and I had been involved in the haunt industry for many years as secretary for an association, and got to know lots of people, got to see lots of haunts, have a huge love of Halloween. I always have been. And I took my background in the beauty industry and love for makeup and Halloween and started combining the two. And when I had the opportunity to work with Laura, I was able to merge the beauty and the haunt together. And that's what we create. And I still get the opportunity to travel around to different haunted attractions, guest makeup artists. I'm trying to learn a little bit more theatrical techniques, a little bit more effects, so I can have more to bring to the table in my photography makeup. But I love every aspect of it, and the haunt industry has a very special place in my heart, and it always will.
Don't everybody jump in at once.
I was going to say.
I was waiting for. Jim will have to throw that one in.
We can do that.
So what would be some, shall we say, interesting stories that you've had while you were out doing a shoot or getting into makeup or setting up something? Do you guys go out to haunted attractions? Do they hire you to come out and work with some of their people, maybe doing a shoot for promotional purposes or anything like that?
Well, actually, touching back on 100 Acre Manor, some of the actors, they have a moat there. It's like kind of like a bridge you walk over.
What it is 100 Acre Manor was actually built on top of an old swimming pool grounds, and the moat that Laura's talking about used to be the children's area. They now have a walkway that goes over that with, you know, creatures in the water that come at you off the bridge. Laura and I were down there, and to cap off our evening of shooting, we convinced the manager of the haunt, Ethan, to climb out in a boat in the middle of the pond, because that's a great idea. And then myself and 3 other actors went out and tipped his boat over while we were dressed as zombies, and he got soaked, and the resulting pictures are absolutely amazing.
Yeah, they were. There's actually a picture of Ethan standing in the little pond thing there that they have, and they had the fire hose, and someone was spraying him with the fire hose, and it's very Flashdance looking.
It's an inappropriate picture. Is it appropriate?
Oh, Ethan, you're in trouble now.
We'll need to have him on a future show to retort all this.
There's been a couple interesting times at Lower Dark Studio in the last couple months. One was the Building of the Darkness.
Oh,
Do you want to take it from here?
You know, I'm sure you'll probably tell the story a little bit more humorous, but a lot of people know Jason Irvin, who is an FX makeup artist for the USS Nightmare. Him and I have partnered up on a couple of occasions to work on things at Lower Dark Studio. And one of them is the set of costumes that we wore for Midwest Haunters, which is the Dark Lily and the Darkness. And Jason's costume has gone through multiple incarnations, but the last one turned out pretty darn fabulous, I think, and that will be in Auxiliary Magazine, Laura?
Yes. Yeah.
And, yeah, upcoming issue. But, you know, we had a little bit of a meltdown because he was trying to get dressed in the middle of July downstairs and things melting off. And, you know, Satan doesn't have to wear pants if he doesn't want to.
What I was referring to, if you've ever seen a half-naked man in a warehouse being dressed as a 10-foot-tall devil and pieces melting off his face while he's being dressed, it's quite an experience.
Wearing boxers, because Satan doesn't have to wear pants if he doesn't want to.
That's right.
That needs to be somebody's motto.
And that's not the first time I've had.
That says that. Can we have a bumper sticker that says Satan doesn't have to wear pants if you don't want to?
Yes, absolutely. I think we should have our T-shirts next year for MHC say that.
I agree.
But that's not the first time we've had half-naked creatures in our studio, because Jackie and I worked on this. Deanna wasn't involved in this one. That was before she came on board, but we actually took a guy who wasn't a model or an actor.
Okay, now you have to explain that he's not a model in the sense that, number one, he's just not a model, and number two, this is the shyest man that I have ever met in my life. And when you put a sad, shy man in a room with Laura and I and other models, he turns into a very, very shy man, which just makes me even worse.
Yes. Yeah, and considering the fact he's standing there in his boxer shorts, not even boxers.
No, it wasn't even boxers. It was tighty whities. He had nothing on but a pair of tighty whities.
Yes, and he's getting covered in latex and ghetto hair.
Oh, God.
Ghetto hair being the synthetic hair that we use for hair sculptures and hair pieces. What the other special effects artist and I did was we covered him in latex and synthetic hair, and we made him a werewolf, which I then airbrushed black. I took 3 different prosthetics and chopped them up. They were just, Halloween store prosthetics that we had at the time, and made him a werewolf face with it. And we had another model in the studio by the name of Mona Deluxe. And, Laura, you can go ahead and take it from here.
Well, Mona's a pinup model and a fetish model, and she's 5 foot tall, 32 double E.
I like
shell.
Jinkies Mahoney.
Wow.
Yeah.
She comes around the corner before she comes around the corner.
Exactly. And Mona's not shy. And
but she's a foul-mouthed little Italian chick like me, and I love her.
yeah. Mona's awesome.
We have a model like that and another shyer model, and they're trying to recreate the scene from the 1992 Bram Stoker's Dracula movie where the werewolf creature, shall we say, takes advantage of...
so to speak.
So to speak.
It turns into a dangerous predicament for all parties involved.
And basically, I'm standing off the set, and I'm trying to direct, and this guy is just paranoid. He doesn't even want to touch her. I mean, he's just so afraid of her, and I'm like, you have to hold on to her. You have to act like you're humping her.
And then you have to go out to the side yelling at him to grab her. You gotta hump her. Just grab her.
And he's like, I can't do that. And she's like, just hump me already.
And mind you, this is about 3 hours worth of makeup that now he wants to back out of the shoot. And we're like, oh no, you're gonna stay there until we get the shot, and you're gonna hump her like you mean it.
Yes.
Okay, well, I got one question since we're talking about strange shoots. With what you're discussing, have you guys done any shoots in locations that weird things have happened that you can't explain?
Well,
not personally myself. I've almost got arrested on different shoots, but other than that, nothing paranormal has happened to me.
No, I mean, we even went to OSR, the Ohio State Reformatory in Mansfield, and Deanna and Jackie and I were all there, and I don't even think that anything there happened. I mean, besides Jackie and I hanging out an upstairs window yelling at Deanna, that wasn't really weird, though, I guess, for us, but...
just another day's work.
Floating in midair.
Yeah.
Lower Dark Studios, stuff we do becomes so normal, it doesn't even occur to us that it's abnormal anymore.
Right. Yeah,
Well, except
kind
for
of.
the young granny shoot that we did.
Well, yeah,
that was a hot mess.
So something
Yeah.
weird happens, you just chalk it up to, that's fairly typical.
Oh,
Well-
that was a funny one. That involved Tater, who is a haunt actor, and that was just one of those things where we were goofing around in the studio one day, and he has the famous haunt character Granny, and Laura's like, I have an outfit for you to wear as Granny, and it's this hot pink velour marabou trimmed tracksuit. And Jackie's like, yeah, let's put it on
It was
him.
the ugliest thing I've ever seen in my life. It was so horrible.
Oh, man. And they're like, put some makeup on him. Let's make him look like young Granny.
And
then
he ended
we
up
had him-
wearing gold slingback shoes and a hot blonde wig.
Yes. And posing, and we're yelling at him, okay, Tater, pose. Now you're a dirty tiger. You're a dirty, dirty tiger. And the resulting images are disturbing and hilarious
Yes.
all at the same time.
Absolutely.
Well,
Absolutely.
while not paranormal, that definitely does not sound normal. We're running down to the end of our segment here. I got a quick question for you guys, and we can start this off with Deanna first. What's your dream shoot? What would you love to do for a shoot?
Good question.
Actually, something Laura and I had tossed around a couple of times, and I was hoping maybe something would happen again this year, which is a cemetery shoot in New Orleans. Something that we could pull together, pulling all of our muses, Jackie, Laura, myself, Nez with Dark Spectre Studios, and, some of our other models, and just bringing us all together and doing some sort of fantastic, creepy, and classic shoot.
Laura, didn't you and I talk about this recently?
Yeah.
Remember, okay. Laura, I just happened to talk to Laura about that a few weeks ago, and now you're telling. I'm hearing. I was like, wait a minute. We just talked about this.
Yep.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Laura and I are kind of on the same page where that one's concerned, I think.
Well, what about you, Laura? Is there one that is there a certain shoot besides that one? Is there one that just one shoot you just have to get?
Well, pretty much whatever we can think up, we usually can do. But I would say my dream shoot would be, I guess, to shoot for French Vogue and to do like a real honest to God on-set magazine, like huge, like French Vogue's huge to me. I love it. Or Zinc is another magazine that I adore. As I do a lot of publication work, a lot of the stuff that I do are for alternative magazines and stuff like that. But French Vogue is pretty mainstream as far as it can be, I guess. But I think that would be my dream shoot, is to be contacted by French Vogue or by Zinc magazine and say, hey, here's what we want from you. Here's our request for you to shoot for us. I think that would probably be about the most awesome thing ever.
Awesome. And Jackie, what about you? What would be your, dream non-mermaid, because we know you love that, thing to model for a shot?
Well, I had an answer for you, and then I started thinking that the dream shoot that I have is actually currently being worked on to be produced sometime at this point in this year. So I can't say anything about that other than it will involve Laura and I in fire. But which is always a good thing. Everybody loves fire. I would really, really love to someday do a Brides of Dracula photo shoot. I'm a horrible person because I've already bought the costumes. I am just waiting to distress them and find the perfect models to do it and, really find the exact right location to do it. It's one of those ones that have been in the works for a long time. I'd love to, contact someone who could make myself and my 2 other models, custom pairs of fangs for the shoot, and I have all these visions of how this shoot would go. And it's just one of those things that, again, most of the stuff that we can dream, we can do. We just, we're so piled, we have such a huge workload, we'll get there eventually. We just have to keep pushing away at our current workload and stuff, and we'll get there eventually. So it'll be done sometime, maybe not soon, but we'll get there eventually.
Yep.
Mhm.
I have to say one picture that you guys have done together.
Is there anything that you guys would like to see us turn out?
You know what?
Oh, hey, wow! Turn the tables. That's a good one.
Good one. Yes.
I know that Jackie and Deanna have done photos in the Lily Munster costume. Laura, have you done one yet?
No.
Because I would love to see one of the three. I would love to see one of the 3 of you together in all. Even if it's superimposed in separate pictures. In one collage. I'd love to see one of the 3 of you as Lily the Munster, as kind of like Dracula's vamps. That would be awesome.
I mean, personally,
I loved Jackie in my gown. That was my gown, and I brought it to the studio for the heck of it, and Jackie's like, oh, can I wear it? And I'm like, absolutely, and it fit her perfect. It suited her so well, and with her natural hair being so long and dark, and Jackie has been so far my favorite Lily Munster in my dress.
I would be real interested to see what you guys would bring to a shoot for, like, your 1950s horror monster. Almost that cheesy rubber suit one. What type of direction you'd take an idea like that in?
I always wanted to replicate the Creature from the Black Lagoon photo shoot. I always wanted to replicate the cover of Creature from the Black Lagoon where he's carrying her off.
That'd be sweet.
Fun. If anyone's out there to make a Creature from the Black Lagoon, contact Laura Dark Studios.
I'm too short.
I have considered that. I am a big fan of really odd, cheesy B-50 movies, like the horror and the sci-fi. My dad was he liked the most horrible sci-fi movies ever. And so I kind of grew up with that kind of stuff, and I would love to do, like, some really cute pinup girl with a scary rubber, stupid-looking monster guy coming out of the woods at her or something. I think that would be really fun. I've actually considered doing it. It's just one of those things. Again, like Jackie was saying earlier, it's one of those things that we'd love to do. It's just, we've got a lot of paid and editorial work on our calendars right now. So once we get that stuff cleared out of the way, we can start working on more of our own stuff.
I'll volunteer to be the big, ugly, stupid monster.
Sweet.
Oh yes. We need a gorilla outfit, a fishbowl, and a roll of tinfoil, and boom, the unknown character is ready to go.
There are pictures. There are actually photos from my studio of a man in a gorilla suit with a sword fighting a giant rabbit creature. So it's not unheard of to have.
She's not telling
really
me. I
thing.
was there that day.
Now, what about you, Badger? What's your answer to that question?
Oh, I couldn't answer that without thinking.
Oh, anyway,
we'd have to change the rating of the show.
What's appropriate? You can be inappropriate too.
After Badger's travel schedule, he'd want something involving coffee right now. It'd be Juan Valdez and his magical mule on the countrysides of Colombia. I'm about to fall asleep.
I was thinking more like diesel steampunk type stuff, but
nice.
Yeah.
That's something we'll have to go. We'll have to get that on another show, unfortunately.
We've actually done some really cool steampunk stuff.
Yeah, we did a big steampunk editorial for Dark Beauty magazine, but steampunk's kind of going by the wayside. I'm starting to get into more of the post-apocalyptic genre, Mad Max and all that. I'm really starting to get into that.
Very cool. And, of course, if any of those do come down, we will definitely have to have you on a future show to talk about them because, unfortunately, as we mentioned, the clock is ticking away and we do need to start winding this down. So, this is the part of the Roundtable of Terror we affectionately like to call the plugs. So, we'll start with Laura. If you've got anything you'd like to plug away, feel free.
Well, I have a new magazine that's going to be coming out yet this year, Portfolio Magazine. I also have a Portfolio coffee table book that will add to the 3 I already have. And you can see more of my work on my website at lauradark.net and on my fan pages on Facebook, which is under Laura Dark Photography and Laura Dark Photography 2. I do have 2 fan pages now, so yeah. And I'm always running specials, so hit me up. Want to shoot with me?
Very, very cool. How about you, Deanna?
Well, during the week, I work at a salon. You can find me to provide different types of spa services or makeup services, or I can be hired to help out at a haunt or for a photo shoot, always through Laura, but also through my own website, www.makeupvamp.com, and love to work with anybody.
Cool. How about you, Jackie? I know you've got at least a fan page on Facebook or sites like that.
Yeah, I don't have a website of my own, but I do have my fan page on Facebook, which is Odette Despair, and that's with 2 R's on the end. You can also contact me on Model Mayhem to book modeling work, and I'm also available as a pose coach for any photographers out there who need help posing their models or just learning a little bit more about how to work with a model and, learn some different posing techniques and stuff like that. I'm also available if you want to hire me for your haunt. I'm booked for this entire year, but next year I start booking as soon as the season's over. You can contact me on Facebook under Jackie Steinert. Any of these guys here on Big Scary, you can find me under their pages, of course. But I am also a traveling queue line performer, and I also have been known to teach a class or 2 on queue lining.
So why don't you tell the listening audience where you will be during the haunt season, or where you have...
My first week of October is kind of up in the air right now. I'll be bouncing around between some haunts here in Ohio and some haunts in Kentucky. My second week, I will be at the Waverly Hills Sanitarium. My third weekend, I will be at Netherworld. My fourth weekend, I will be at, where the heck am I? 100 Acre Manor in Pittsburgh.
Very, very cool. Well, it's been a distinct pleasure, ladies, to have you all as guests. You obviously are the most lovely of guests that we have ever had on the Big Scary Show, which certainly offsets our ugly mugs. But I would like to thank Laura Dark, avant-garde dark fashion photographer extraordinaire, the best scary makeup artist I've ever seen in my life, Deanna Roberts, and Jackie Steinert, the model that is not afraid to get down and dirty in pretty much any situation, including with octopi. Thank you very much for taking the time to come and speak to us about a little bit different topic, and also for the input from the unknown scare actor.
Badger, I'm impressed. You got the plural of octopus.
I'm a man of many talents.
I didn't think that would come out of somebody from North Carolina, but
we're just full of surprises. How about you, Storm? You still around?
I am still around, and I'm impressed you got the plural of storm correctly.
Very cool. And the haunt rocker, Jerry Vane.
I am here, and want to thank for the 4 of us for the show. Laura's photo of us is the cover photo on our Big Scary Show Facebook page. So thank you for that.
Which each and every one of you listeners out there should go ahead and like us because we crave the attention. And, of course, my name is Drew Badger. Thank you once again for listening and tuning in to the Roundtable of Terror here on The Big Scary Show.
from the darkest reaches of the earth. This is the Haunt Minute. And now, with this week's commentary, Storm.
Alright. We're in the swing of things. The haunt season for 2012 is just beginning. Haunts are opening, things are getting going, crowds are coming through. And you know what? I look at my queue, and I have no idea if people are coming dressed in costume or not. Honestly, not a clue. Did that girl come dressed as the sexy ophthalmologist? I don't know. Why is that girl wearing something that looks like a panda is eating her head? And honestly, kid, why are you wearing a top hat? They're not wearing costumes. These are what these people normally wear. And I am confused. I have no idea what they're doing. I can't tell. Do I make a joke that they're dressed like Ronald McDonald? Or will they be upset and emotionally scarred and want their money back? No idea. And guess what? The costumes that they're selling in stores ain't helping either. No idea if people are coming to the haunt dressed in costume or they just really, really have that bad taste in fashion. So until next time, keep every minute scary.
Get your Stormy Rant fix in 140 characters on Twitter at Big Scary Storm. CreepyCollection.com. The most disturbing, realistic, handmade props and animatronics for the horror industry. Now featuring FearFlex technology. Voted best zombie props of 2011 and 2012. CreepyCollection.com for all your gore and more.
This is Laura Dirk.
This is Laura Dirk, making fingers. Laura Dirk.
Jerry's a big fan of the Irma Gerd meme.
I hate that shit.
We are too.
You need to make a
Irma
Jerry
Gerd.
Byrne.
It's Durvern.
Jerry Byrne, the Hurt Worker. Somebody make that meme and post it on
I'll put that on the
Jackie needs to do the Irma Gerd. It's the Bergskircher.
Okay, yes. Oh.
It is my pleasure to introduce to you the Big Scary Show's special correspondent. We bring you Dog Soldier.
As a Dog Soldier here with Ernie Hudson, Congo, the Hand That Rocks the Creator, and of course Ghostbusters. Ernie, how's the convention been for you this weekend?
It's been a great convention. People have been really cool, and just everybody, without exception. It's been really very good. It was a tribute to Brandon Lee from The Crow, and a lot of the actors who I hadn't seen since the movie, some I hadn't seen since the movie, we were able to get together, and it's just been really a good experience.
Now, you said that one of your heroes growing up was Brandon Lee and Muhammad Ali. I mean, Bruce Lee. Muhammad.
Lee, yes.
Now, what was it like getting to work with Brandon Lee on The Crow?
Well, of course, obviously, Bruce Lee, I never got a chance to meet. He passed away, but I had so much respect for his talent and, what he could do. And so meeting Brandon, I knew Brandon about 8 years before we did the movie, but he was a great guy. He was a great kid, and always really, really, respectful. And I had a great time working with him. So, yeah.
Now, most of your movies, you either play like kind of like the good guy character, except for maybe the substitute. Do you like playing those characters?
I just like to work. That's kind of it really hasn't been a lot of me. There have been some things I've turned down because I just didn't want to be associated with certain things. Then it becomes very personal. But generally speaking, those are the roles that's been sort of offered. I like playing a bad guy if the bad guy makes sense. I don't like doing a stupid bad guy. Mm-hmm. And I don't like violence just for the sake of violence. I'd much rather, if I had a career in doing, those Disney movies, I'd probably choose to do that because that's how I see the world. But I also recognize that as an actor, it's good to, to change up a bit. But unfortunately for actors, it's being able to do what you're given the opportunity to do. I mean, I could play, a great judge, say, but unless somebody gives me a job playing a judge, you'll never see me play a judge. So it's how people see you. Almost didn't get the part in The Hand That Rocks the Cradle because people didn't see me that vulnerable, even though as an actor I can do it. So it's not like a musician where you just create your music and you can perform it even if you don't have much of an audience. With acting, you got to wait for somebody to give you that job or create it yourself. And one of the greatest experiences here is
Tony Todd.
It's Tony Todd. Tony, we do we do Transformers Prime together, and we worked together over the years. So and I really love him and respect him. So it's been good. It's been a good experience.
Now, you've done a lot of different type of movies and TV. Do you have any favorite movies that you've done? Any favorite characters that stand out for you?
Well, sometimes, what I loved about The Crow was Brandon Lee got a chance to do... Brandon Lee got a chance to do a role that really, I think, showed without a doubt his talent. And I don't really feel that I've gotten one of those roles yet in all the years I've been doing it. Anyway, you're the man. But I think if you took the character in Congo and the character in The Hand That Rocks the Cradle, I love the character in The Crow, and I love the, so I think probably those are the things that come to mind. Because I think they show a lot more versatility. Mm-hmm. The Warden in Oz and the character in Congo are not the same two guys. So I kind of look at it that way. I still haven't had that one defining role yet. And maybe that'll never happen. I don't know. But that's what I kind of am always looking for.
Now, how about your hardest character? Do you have one that you had to play that it was like really hard for some reason?
I think they're all sort of hard in the beginning, because it always seems so overwhelming, and then you sort of climb on top of it. Certainly, the character in The Hand That Rocks the Cradle, going in, not really knowing any mentally disabled people, and doing the research, and finally finding that guy within me, Congo the same way, trying to figure out, and then one day he's there, So they're all difficult to play on Broadway. A couple years ago, called Joe Turner's Come and Gone, and couldn't figure the character out. And then one day, he shows up. But I think you just, as an actor, you have to keep, focused until you find him. Once you find him, then Bill, I'll see you, man. I'll see you in L.A. Let's grab dinner again. So, it's great. Wonderful things about doing these. It was Bill Atherton, and one of the great things about doing these shows is you get a chance to see the people who you work with and who you respect, and that's really cool.
Now, Ghostbusters. What's going on with number 3?
Ghost number 3. As far as I know, it's just all talk. Now, what time do you leave?
I'm leaving in about 10. What time is it now? 4 o'clock is my shuttle. So.
Okay, well, can I add things up and get you in LA?
Yeah,
that'd be the simplest thing. Because I don't know if there's.
And if you don't have time to get.
Yeah, so we got the first 2 days. We'll add up today, and then I'll get it to you.
Just text me, let me know. And,
okay,
Perfect.
So.
And hugs again.
Oh, yeah. Okay, good. Everything good with you and your husband?
Fabulous.
Oh, sorry to hear that. You take care. That's to the family. All right. See you later. So I'm sorry.
Ghostbusters 3.
No, they say it's it's happening. There's been a lot of talk, and I'm like, okay, well, if it's happening, when? So, I mean, I'd love to do it, and I know the fans want to see it happen. And if it does happen, I certainly hope I'm a part of it. But it is Hollywood, and they're pretty stupid. So I don't really count on anything, until it's real. So,
now,
but I'd love to see it happen.
Do you have any new projects that you can tell us about?
I stay busy. I just finished a movie with Kix Brooks called The Killer Memory. We shot it in Arizona. It's a Western, a real good Western shootout kind of thing, and had a lot of fun doing that. I don't know when they're going to release it. Did one with John Snyder called Doomby. That still should be out. They said it's going to be out this fall, but these independents, you never know. Right. I do a show called Secret Life of the American Teenager. I do a recurring on that. I'll play a psychiatrist on that. That's fun. And I do, just one second. And like I said, Tony and I, we do the Transformers Prime, an animated show. But I stay busy. There's a movie called Pastor Brown we did a couple of years ago in Atlanta. Still waiting to see it. And there's always, it's probably about 5 movies that hasn't been released yet. It's hard to tell. It's like the old days. You do a studio movie, they give you a release date, and it's in the theater. Now, you make a movie, the distribution deal falls apart. Who knows? But I just, I trust. I don't want to get religious, but I trust in God. I trust in the universe, and the right thing comes along. I'm available.
Do you have a website or anything there, Ernie?
Well, there's it needs to be updated. Ernie-Hudson.com, and you can. But and we're sort of reworking it now, but that's the way. And Ernie-Hudson@hotmail is if you can get in touch with me.
Well, Ernie, thank you very much for taking time out of your busy schedule here at Monster Mania to talk to us. Good luck with your projects, and I hope to see you again.
Great, man. Look forward to it.
Thank you.
All right.
Hi, this is the Haunt Rocker Jerry Vane, and I want to talk to you about Thorn Web Designs. Jimmy Talkington at Thorn Web Designs does my music site, jerryvane.com, and is the official website designer for BigScaryShow.com. Jimmy works for Haunt and has been in this business a long time, and he knows just what to do to make your site work for you. As a client of his for 2 years, I can tell you right now, Jimmy takes pride in what he does to make sure the website is what you want, when you want, and on time. And best of all, great prices and great customer service. So if you need a custom website for your haunted attraction, metal band, or anything else, I want you to visit thornwebdesigns.com and see what Jimmy Talkington can do for you. Thorn Web Designs, the official web designer of the Haunt Rocker Jerry Vane, Rabid Badger Haunt Consulting, and The Big Scary Show.
Dog Soldier here at Monster Mania with Joe Madre and Lance Henriksen, actor turned author now. Lance, you're going to tell us about your new book you've written.
Joe and I wrote it together, and it's not a book, it's a biography. Okay. But it is a book, but it isn't a fake story or a fiction, it's real. You only get one shot, so we worked hard on it, to tell the truth and have an interesting book.
Where'd the idea come from?
About, 69 years of what do you call it, adventures, so that's really where it came from.
All right, Joe, what was your plot in the book?
We worked, what did we do? We did Nightmares in Red, White, and Blue, which was a documentary on horror films that I wrote and produced. And we got Lance to do the narration voiceover for that.
And that's how
we hit it off. We hit it off in the VO session. So I guess about a year later, after we've been talking quite a bit, I said there's no excuse for the fact that you don't have a biography out there, because I knew there's a lot of people who want to read it. I want to read it. And if that means I have to write it, then let's do it.
So. You know one of the things that happened, I said to him, look, what if we get halfway through and it's crap? Okay. Or I'm not able to tell the truth about anything. So can we just throw it away if it's no good? And then we just don't look back, we'll just throw it away. And he said, yeah, and that gave me the courage and impetus to go on with it. And then it started writing itself, in a sense.
Now, how hard was it to get started on the book? Was it really hard at first, or did everything just start flowing at once?
Well, it's not hard. It's not that. You just have to be patient with each other and with the whole process of doing it. Because it took us over a year. So we just took it easy, baby steps. We keep talking about it as baby steps. Right. And now the book is resonating all over the place. I mean, it's become more than either one of us had hoped for. I mean, because you don't know how a book is going to do. So So it's everywhere now.
Now, it's sold out here at the convention, right?
It's sold out at every convention I've done so far.
Wow, man.
I'm almost halfway through the book tour.
Really?
But it's selling out everywhere, so it's pretty cool.
Now, give us a little insight on what the book is about.
My life.
Your life.
Your biography. You know, that's a bad question. Because it's like,
it's like loaded?
You want me to give you chapter 1 or chapter 5?
Well, is it like it's basically from the point where you first got into movies or before that into the movies?
You know what would have been so good if you had read it before we did this interview?
You know what?
Only
Unfortunately, the book sold out before we got a chance to...
I know. That wasn't meant to be, any kind of...
That's okay.
We started with the films, though. We started actually with your theater work.
Yeah, because I did a lot of theater in New York, when I was a young actor.
And then after we had a full manuscript, you said, well, we really had to go back and talk the first 30 years before doing the acting.
Keep going, just keep working and seeing what we can unravel.
Now, did it come a point where you went to a certain point and you said, no, that's not going to work, let's do it this way?
No, never frantic like that.
Never.
It would be like, I don't know about that. We would go, we would pose a question and then we'd go, I guess we should re-examine that.
Yeah.
But now, ironically, the way it's all working out, the book is on its own. We're doing the last of the baby steps to get people to read it, and now we're on to we're going to be doing Joe and I are writing a book for Dark Horse Comics.
Oh, you can comic book?
Yeah, they've already offered us the deal, and we're doing it. So it's no ending. It's like life is not over, because you write a biography. That's
even
for
in
sure.
the process of writing it, it wasn't. I feel like up until the last day when it was actually published, we were, every now and then you'd call me and say, you'd tell me a story, and I'd say, all right, we have to put it in the book, and we can still think like that.
Yeah, right.
Now, that the book has become so popular now, it's selling real good. Is there talks in the work, maybe a second book other than the Dark Horse comic?
But you can't do a biography to him. You can't. That would be.
We'll do a prequel about who you were in a previous life.
What we'll do is we'll write a novel, the life that could have been, or should have been, or would have been, and people then they'll throw that at us.
How to do pottery?
Yeah. How to act, how to make a pottery, how to be a better husband. Women are from Mars, men are from Venus, or wherever the hell it is.
Real men don't eat quiche.
Yeah, no, they don't. They really don't.
Now, let's talk a little bit. Can you talk a little bit about the Dark Horse comic? Is it going to be just one, or is it going to be a series?
What Joe's thinking, and what were you thinking, Joe? It was going to be three comics.
Really?
Yeah. Dark Horse is a really cool company.
The Dark Horse is known for making a lot of movies out of their comic books. You see a feature movie out of this.
Here's the story. This is the story. I wrote a script, and long time ago, and threw it away eventually because it was the pages were yellowing, so I threw it away. And Joe and I, Dark Horse offered us this, and I said, well, maybe we should do this story, which I'm not going to tell you, but anyway, we should do this story. And the ironic part is it'll come out in a comic, and Dark Horse, if they loved it and it was resonated, could turn into a movie. So here it goes through the looking glass. Started as a script, we write a comic, now it's a movie.
Well, look how popular Walking Dead was. It started off as a comic book, and now it's on its second season.
That's right.
With the possible third. Now, can you tell us if it's going to be like a horror or a drama or anything at all about the book? This is a little.
This is how it starts.
This is how it starts. You pull a thread, the sweater falls off.
There you go.
No, mostly, the genres that I'm involved in, science fiction, horror film.
Very good, yeah.
So I'll tell you that, it's in the spectrum.
Wow.
In that spectrum.
Wow.
But it's pretty good.
Now, somebody wants to order your book. First of all, what's the name of the book and how can they order it?
The book is Not Bad for a Human, which is my last line in Aliens. And you can get it on Kindle Nook, Amazon, iPad. You can get it on anything. Okay. Or you can go to notbadforahuman.com.
Notbadforahuman.com.
And order it right directly from us, and we'll sign it.
Wow, so you order a book and it comes signed?
It's a limited edition.
Through the website.
Both of you have signed it.
Mm-hmm. It's a limited edition. We're going to start running out.
Now,
we're running out now.
You've been busy, not just writing a book, but you've got a couple of projects. You've done a couple of movies.
Last year I did.
Monster Brawl. The Dog That Saved Halloween.
Yeah, that's fun.
And what's the other one? Blood.
Not Bad for a Human.
Not Bad for you.
No,
okay.
no.
The book.
The movie. No. The other one I did was
Bring Me the Head.
Bring Me the Head of Lance Henriksen, which is a comedy.
Okay. Well, Lance,
I'm starting up a movie with Richard Gibson from Australia called Michigan Turnpike, which is a great really beautiful script. And another one called Ambush is starting that one up, too.
Wow. Well, you have been busy.
I'm very busy.
Yeah. Well, Lance, thank you for taking time to talk to me here today in Monster Mania.
You're a great supporter.
I don't have to say good luck with the book because I understand it's kicking ass.
It is.
I mean, it's selling at the conventions.
I love the way you talk. It is kicking ass.
About that. And with your projects, we're all looking forward to hearing from you about your new projects coming out. So again, good luck with everything, and
if you get up
see
to
you guys
Toronto,
again.
I'll see you up there.
Do you hear that? The asylum is being overrun. It's time to go to Von Caron Productions and check out the Insane Ensemble. For those troublesome lunatics, they have the commitment coat, a straitjacket designed to keep them restrained. Or, if you're the doctor who likes to experiment, then the psychosurgical coat was made just for you. Go to Von Caron Productions, www.voncaron.com. That's VONCHARON, Von Caron Productions. Get there before you too are infected by the madness. Greetings, haunters. Are you ready to face your fears? Brought to you by Dark Spectre Custom Couture. Check out Nez's work at www.darkspectre.com. Couture for the creatures of the night.
Greetings, haunters. Well, it's now the end of September. A good portion of haunts have started their season. Those that haven't, either this weekend or next weekend, season will be in high gear for the haunting community. And usually I talk about the types of fears you project upon your unsuspecting victims. And recently I've been talking about the fears that we as actors face every day. Well, I'm going to continue that one a little bit because this one's kind of I wouldn't call it a pet peeve, but something that needs to be addressed. And, especially if you're working in one of the larger haunts, or it really doesn't matter, because reviewers, both regional and national, come through haunts. That's what they do. They give their own opinions about what they saw and how they felt about it. Well, I know a lot of actors put a lot of bank into what the reviewers have to say. So the actors get all wound up when they find out a reviewer's coming and they don't know quite what to do, and oh, should I go over the top? No. Do what you do best. It doesn't matter if it's a reviewer or a John Q. public. You should do nothing but give your best performance each and every night. Sometimes things get a little bit tiresome. It gets late. You don't want to give that extra scream or jump into something. Well, that's probably when the reviewers are going to come through. And do you really want them to see that? See, I'm not telling you to overact. I'm just telling you to act. Because the reviewers, the reviews, good or bad, are going to be out there. Maybe the reviewer had a bad night. Maybe somebody else in the haunt disappointed them and not you. Maybe things were above their expectations. Maybe they, for once, gave an attraction a favorable review after downing it for the last couple of years. These are all the types of things you're going to face. But don't take everything to heart, haunters, because different reviewers have different opinions. They're just like your guests. That's what they are. They are guests. Yes, they publish their opinions. But just because you've got one bad opinion doesn't mean you don't have 20 good opinions. So take the constructive criticism, but don't obsess and get disappointed when you see something that doesn't look favorable from one reviewer.
That's a fear that a lot of the haunters face, and I figured I should bring it up since we are right in the middle of the season. So anyway, you know the routine, haunters.
Always remember one thing, haunters. Everyone is afraid of something. As we slide back into the swamp where we hid the body, we would like to thank the following people and others. We want to thank Dog Soldier for his interviews. Our gruesome giveaway winner, Jennifer Conrad. You can see a picture of her holding her prize on our Facebook page. People really do win on the Big Scary Show. We wish to thank Laura Dark, Deanna Roberts, and Jackie Steinert for talking dark and alternative photography. LauraDark.net, MakeupVamp.com, and look for Odette Despair on ModelMayhem.com. Shane and Dave from MonsterCon and StiffMag. MonsterCon.org and StiffMag.com. Ryan Theroff of Screamakers Court at CincyScreams.com. Jimmy Talkington and Thornweb Designs, ThornwebDesigns.com. Virgil Franklin, Master of the Ethermuse, at HauntAudio.com. Von Charon Productions, Von Charon, VONCHARON.com. Screamline Studios at ScreamlineStudios.com. We'd also like to thank the Four Ghosts. Storm, catch his ramblings at HauntMinute.com. The Unknown Scare Actor, videos and more, UnknownScareActor.com. The Haunt Rocker Jerry Vane. Pick up his latest CD, The Attic, at JerryVane.com. And Drew Badger, actor, trainer, consultant, and more, RabbitBadger.biz. Be sure to tell us what you think. Send feedback to us at feedback@BigScaryShow.com. And keep sending in those news items, news@BigScaryShow.com. Follow us on Facebook at Facebook.com/BigScaryShow or on Twitter at Big Scary Show. And you can find us on iTunes. Search Big Scary Show in the iTunes store. Tune in next time when we bring you the latest news and information from the world of haunting and horror. And thank you once again for listening. Without you, we are nothing. Good night, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and others. This is the Big Scary Show. Hello, boys and girls. Welcome to the Monster Bash. Tonight, you will meet the scariest monsters of all time. What? You don't believe in monsters? Well, why don't you follow me to the torture chamber, where those who don't believe will soon be convinced.
At the stroke of midnight, witches fly by moonlight, casting evil spells on children down below.
Why, there's a nice-looking young man. Except when the moon is full, then I would run for your lives, kiddies. Otherwise, you could end up as a midnight snack.
Full moon and wolfbane drive a werewolf insane, stalking in the woods at night. Beware of his fatal bite. Shoot a silver bullet straight into his evil heart. Make sure your aim is true or you will be torn apart.
Look who we have here.
Master. I have the brain.
I'll take mine scrambled with toast, thank you. Why isn't that Frankenstein's monster? Don't scream too loudly, or you might wake him.
It's alive! It's alive! Good God! It's alive!
In a dark castle lives Dr. Frankenstein. Igor finds the body parts for the monster and his bride. Thunderbolts of lightning, very, very frightening. Sneaking up behind you, he's going to find you.
Why, isn't that Count Dracula? I homemade pizza with lots of lumps of garlic. Otherwise, you might lose a few pints.
Look into my eyes. I want to drink your blood. Who's afraid of daylight? Sleeps in a coffin, lives on blood, takes your soul, never ever lets you go. Lurking in the shadows is Count Dracula. Don't look into his eyes, or you will meet your demise. Black cats and vampire bats, scarecrows in straw hats, jack-o'-lanterns, scary grins with eyes all aglow. Ghosts and ghouls with rattling chains, your blood runs cold through your veins. Chills run up and down your spine. This haunted house will blow your mind.
See, children, you do believe now, don't you? Don't tell me you're frightened. That's just too bad. Why don't you run to
'cause Halloween